For the first time, the Red Sox new ace, David Price, will take to the mound looking for a Boston victory. And for the last time, a Red Sox icon begins the season, David Ortiz, in his final opening day. Temperatures in the 30s, but it's a bright sunny day here in Cleveland with a much better chance for baseball this afternoon. And finally, opening day 2016. We welcome you back to Progressive Field here in Cleveland. It's the Red Sox and the Indians opening day, take two. Hi, everybody. Welcome here to Cleveland for opening day. I'm Dave O'Brien, brand new to the NESN TV booth this year. Not brand new to Red Sox baseball. I have been next door on radio for the last 9 years. Certainly not new to Red Sox Nation as a Quincy boy. I was born into that. I've had a long career in Major League announcing. This is my 26th year at the microphone, and I've had a chance to do some incredible things. I've called the World Series 9 times and called 8 no-hitters and called the last 3 Red Sox World Championships. But the greatest honor of my career is to be able to sit in this booth as a voice of the Red Sox for the next days and weeks and months and hopefully years to come. I hope that you will invite me in as a friend, and I hope I can earn your trust as well. Just as you gave to Don Orsillo, and before Don, Sean McDonough, and before Sean, Ned Martin, and all the way back to the days of Kurt Gowdy, an amazing list of talented Red Sox broadcasters. I'm going to come to the booth every day and work hard. I'm certainly not going to be perfect, but I'm going to be candid and honest, and I'm going to call them like I see them. And I love to laugh. I think baseball can be a very, very funny game. I'm very passionate about it. I love to have a good time in the booth. So, by way of introduction, that's me. Last year, the Red Sox, at the end of the season, were playing with a wonderful, youthful enthusiasm. And on that topic, let's bring in Jerry Remy for his 29th year in the Red Sox TV booth. Great to see you, Rem Doc.
Well, it's great to have you here, Dave. You know, you went through all your credentials, 26 years of covering baseball, Major League Baseball, covering the Red Sox for the last 9, and we're all so happy to have you in the NESN broadcast booth and joining the NESN family. And, you know, let's hope, Dave, that this is an exciting season for everybody, for the fans, for us, because we're all looking forward to it. We're all looking forward to opening day.
Thrilled to be with you and ready to get it going because we have sunshine here on opening day in Cleveland and David Price on the mound. He'll be throwing out the Red Sox first pitch on the new season in just a few minutes.
36 hours ago, you were Jeff and Susan. Now, you're Mom and Dad. But you've got this. You read the baby manuals, you baby-proofed the house, bought yourself a safe SUV. You're totally ready for this. Right?
What are hops? For Sam Adams, they're the soul of craft beer. They bring bitterness, flavor, and aroma. American hops, they're piney and citrusy, like a lumberjack chopping grapefruit. German hops, they're floral and spicy, a beautiful bouquet with thorns. English hops, earthy and delicate, a beer lover's cup of tea. Whatever hops you like, however much you like them, Sam Adams is crafting a brew for you. For the love of beer.
HP's new series of color LaserJet printers deliver unmatched quality, and their Jet Intelligent Toner cartridges print up to 1/3 more pages. Get yours from who but WB Mason today and experience the difference. Nobody beats WB on HP.
Clean up at Cricket Wireless. Switch and get select 4G LTE smartphones for as low as $19.99. Plus, no annual contracts. New phone smell. Cricket Wireless. Something to smile about.
Oh, is that a beautiful sight? Blue sky and sunshine for opening day 2016. We welcome you back to Progressive Field here in Cleveland. Looks like we are going to have a ball game here this afternoon between the Indians and the Red Sox. Dave and Jerry back with you. And David Price, Remdog, on the mound today. A true number one, a true ace, begins his Red Sox career in a city he's never lost in.
It's really nice to see, isn't it? I mean, we went all through last year without an ace on this pitching staff, and it was very obvious he got the Red Sox buried very early in the season. But with David Price, they went out and they spent a lot of money on this guy, but for good reason. You know, he's accustomed to being a number one guy. He's a guy that has been in many situations with different teams as the number one starter, and he fit right in with his club right from the first day reported to spring training. And he's a guy that you can rely on, a guy that can keep winning streaks alive and also end losing streaks. He's that type of pitcher. Red Sox have great confidence in him, and as you mentioned, in this ballpark area, has never lost a game yet, so that's a good sign for the Red Sox today.
4-0. You've described him as a very cool customer. He has no choice today but to be a cool customer in these conditions. But as the Sox and the Indians, we are dying to get it started. And David Price will throw out the first Red Sox pitch of the season in just a matter of moments here from Progressive Field.
Which side is our best side? This one? That one? You know what? Actually, our best side is this one. Our heart. Because only an airline with a heart would give you great deals like this. Now you can fly for as low as $69 one way. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Low fares, nothing to hide. That's transparency.
This is David Price of the Boston Red Sox. And this is Astro, his dog. When your best buddy is a Cy Young winning all-star heat-throwing lefty.
Ready? Go get it.
And you're a 9-year-old 30-pound French bulldog. At a certain point, you got to put your paw down. Because maybe catch is not our game. Maybe you just want to snuggle, you know?
What's the most awarded car company of the year? Ranking from top to bottom.
Luxury cars seem like they would be top awarded.
Better be some awards behind what you're paying for, right?
The final answer?
Uh-oh.
Chevy, the most awarded car company 2 years in a row.
Wow, it's like a luxury car.
I was shocked. I mean, it's like, this is Chevy?
For a limited time, get cash back for 15% of the MSRP on most remaining 2015 Chevy vehicles while they last.
Visit your New England Chevy dealer.
Closed captioning is sponsored by East Boston Savings Bank. Stop in at one of our over 30 EBSB branches throughout the greater Boston area and open a free personal or free business checking account. Visit ebsb.com for a location near you. Red Sox baseball in Essen is brought to you by your New England Audi dealers. By Dunkin' Donuts. America runs on Dunkin'. BuyAToyota.com, Toyota's website for deals. By DraftKings, the official one-day fantasy baseball partner of your Boston Red Sox. By Subaru Retailers of New England, supplying award-winning all-wheel drive vehicles throughout New England. By Digital Federal Credit Union, see what DCU can save you. And by Southwest Airlines, transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. Perfect baseball weather.
At least we're playing.
At least we're playing, and we will have baseball today. Great to have you along. Jerry Remy and Dave O'Brien with you. Today, the Red Sox 116th opening day. All time, the Sox are 56, 58-1. It's the 6th year in a row they're opening up on the road. First time ever in Cleveland, so Major League Baseball is going to plead temporary insanity on this one.
I'll tell you, it's been amazing. You know, you leave Montreal where you play a couple of games in the Dome. You come to Cleveland and feel like you've been here a week and we haven't had a pitch yet in a game. But we will very shortly.
It's actually the 18th time in the last 21 years the Red Sox have started the season on the road. It has not gone that badly, though. The Red Sox have won 5 of the last 8, including beating up on the Phillies 8-0 last year.
Well, the key is, you know, so much focus is put on opening day, and it should be. It's an exciting time for everybody, but the fact is it's a long, long marathon from here till the end of the season, and things have to go well all season long.
Number 1 of 162 as the Indians are taking the field. We give you a look at the Red Sox starting lineup now. It's brought to you by BuyAToyota.com. Toyota's website for deals. And Mookie Betts will lead things off. He is in right field. Dustin Pedroia looking to stay healthy. He's at second base. Xander Bogaerts at short. David Ortiz was 2 home runs against Kluber. He's the DH. Hanley Ramirez at first. Travis Shaw gets the nod at third base. Brock Holton left with Blake Swihart doing the catching. And Jackie Bradley Jr. in center field and batting ninth against Cory Kluber. And some say he's the ace of the best 1, 2, 3 in any American League rotation, along with Carlos Carrasco and Danny Salazar. 9-16 last year. The ERA was up a bit, and he gave up 22 home runs. But a sensational slider, one of the best in baseball. He pounds that strike zone with a 2-seam fastball and a 4-seamer, and he is nasty as part of an outstanding rotation for the Cleveland Indians.
Well, the Indians defense is brought to you by DraftKings, and today they'll have Juan Uribe at third base, Francisco Lindor the shortstop, Jason Kipnis at second, and Mike Napoli the first baseman. Left to right, Marlon Byrd, Rajay Davis, and Colin Cowgill, and Yan Gomes doing the catching for Kluber.
Today's umpires are brought to you by ToyotaCertified.com. Search for your factory-backed Toyota certified used vehicle right now. John Hirschbeck behind the plate, his 34th year calling balls and strikes. Bill Welke at first base, Vic Carapaz at second, and DJ Rayburn, a young umpire, at third base here this afternoon. Where available, this telecast can be heard in Spanish by selecting the SAP button on your television remote. Presented by ToyotaCertified.com. Search for your factory-backed Toyota certified vehicle right now.
Buenas tardes, amigo, and Nuto Frio here today.
Good to know the factory has your back. Well, 33 degrees. Feels like 26, but sunny. That's the key. Mookie Betts in, and we are set for the first pitch of the season for the Red Sox. The 29-year-old Kluber. And the first one is outside, ball 1. We are underway. Mookie 291 last season with 18 homers, and he drove in 77 runs. Dustin Pedroia on deck. And that's ball 2.
Well, you gave the arsenal for Kluber. He'll throw some fastballs, some cut fastballs. As you mentioned, he'll turn it over. See the breaking ball and also a changeup part of his arsenal. No run support at all last year for the Indians.
The 2-0 and in for a called strike. Now, one of the oddities of 2015 for the Red Sox, they did finish last, but went 9-6 against Cy Young winners like Kluber. Went 1-1 against him. So success against some of the best. Popped up foul out of play.
In a day like this, Dave, you would think pitchers have the advantage. They're moving all the time to try to stay warm. The biggest problem the pitchers have is keeping that ball from being too shiny. They've got to rub it up quite a bit to make sure that they can get a good grip on it. But these cold days, the pitchers, to me, and especially ace pitchers, have the advantage.
The 2-2 to Betts. Waved at and missed. Down and goes strike 3. One man out. Nesson and Xfinity would like to welcome viewers to opening day. Thanks for joining us for the start of the 2016 season. It is finally here. So one down for Dustin Pedroia, coming off 291, 12 homers, 42 runs batted in. As you look at all the strikeouts from Kluber, lots of swings and misses from this staff. PD 2 for 11 lifetime against him, and he looks at a strike. Pedroia loves opening day. He has hit safely in all 9 opening days at .421 with 4 home runs. Fly to right field, routine play for Cowgill, and puts it away. 2 up, 2 down.
I was watching the third baseman on that, and he was in very close. That's a Uribe at third base. And, when do you ever see Dustin Pedroia drop a bunt down at third base? It doesn't seem to make sense to me, but Pedroia that time flying out to right field.
I'll send up Xander Bogaerts for his first at bat of the season. A Silver Slugger Award winner last year, hitting .320 with 196 hits, third most in the majors. Strike one. And, of course, the man from Aruba all bundled up.
So the last fastball at 93 miles an hour. That's about where he operates with his fastball. The cross-seam fastball.
The 0-1 to Xander. Check swing, but in for a strike.
That's that nasty cutter. That'll be about 86 miles an hour, and that's how he picks up the outside corner. So two nasty pitches to start off Bogarts. Fastball, then cut fastball.
This guy throws a lot of strikes, doesn't he? Only 45 walks all last year. The 0-2. Weekly hit to the shortstop, Lindor. And on target. And 1-2-3 go the Red Sox here in the first inning. Here comes David Price for the first time. His first pitch is next.
Our designers gave it head-turning style. Our engineers built it with Toyota's most advanced all-wheel drive system. Our accountants gave it no-cost maintenance. Independent researchers made it an IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus. And you made it New England's best-selling vehicle, the Toyota RAV4. Toyota, let's go places.
Town Fair Tire always has the lowest price guaranteed on Mastercraft tires no matter what tire you need. Plus, when you buy your Mastercraft tires from Town Fair, you'll always get free mounting, free flat repair, free tire rotation, free snow tire changeover, and a free front wheel alignment. Don't settle for less than the guaranteed lowest price on Mastercraft tires. And never settle for less than Town Fair Tire. Because nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody!
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
What is the Sam Adams Nitro Project? It's our beer reinvented from the bubbles out. Most beers are carbonated, big, and fizzy, but swap in some nitrogen and you get this. Those tiny bubbles make beer smoother, creamier, irresistible. Just open and pour. Sam Adams Nitro White Ale, IPA, and Coffee Stout. This is the Nitro Project, and it's just getting started. Sam Adams, know more, love more.
It's time for Xfinity Spring Savings, so switch to an X1 Triple Play for $89.99 a month for 2 years and change the way you experience TV. Xfinity X1 is faster, simpler,
Show me romantic comedies.
and easier than ever before. There's never been a better time to experience X1, but this offer won't last. Get the X1 Triple Play from Comcast for $89.99 a month for 2 full years, or ask how to upgrade and get $400 back. Sale ends May 1st. Call 1-800-XFINITY or go online today.
They know how to dress for it here in Cleveland. Give you a look at the Indians starting lineup now. It's brought to you by your New England Chevy dealers. Rajai Davis is in center field. Jason Kipnis at second. Francisco Lindor at short. Old friend Mike Napoli at first base. Santana the DH. Gomes the catcher. Marlon Byrd is in left field. Juan Uribe is the third baseman, and Colin Cowgill is in right field. And batting ninth against David Price, the new Red Sox ace. And a left-hander to deliver his first one on the day. And right through there for strike one. Red Sox starting pitcher presented by your New England Audi dealers. 18-5 last year with a 2.45 ERA. He is now 30 years old and carries himself like a true number one as it is fouled back by Davis.
Yeah, what you'll see too from Price is a fastball, a cut fastball, occasional curveball, and changeup. And you see the breakdown on his pitches. 69% fastballs. The breaking ball is more of a cut fastball and an occasional curve, and there you see the changeup.
It's a battle of Cy Young winners. Price won it in 2012, making his 4th straight opening day start, 5th of his career. And the 0-2. Strike 3. Got him looking over the inside corner. What a nice way to start for the tall lefty.
Well, he completely fooled Rajai Davis. I mean, he goes 2 pitches away from him, then he comes back inside with the fastball knee high on the corner. And Rajai Davis, with a couple of strikes on him, is thinking about the ball away, protecting the outside part of the plate. Perfect pitch by David Price.
Price, a good choice to be the Red Sox opening day starter for many reasons, not the least of which he is 9-2 in his career against Cleveland and 4-0 with a 2.15 ERA in this ballpark. That's off the outside edge on Kipnis. He was an all-star last year. He's their second baseman, good contact guy. Out of Arizona State. He's got a lot of Dustin Pedroia in him. That's across for a strike. Dives for every ball. He runs out every pop-up. One man out and the 1-0. Inside.
David Price has been very cool and calm the last couple of days. Yesterday was supposed to be opening day. He looked very relaxed in the clubhouse. Same thing this morning.
The 2-1 on the edge for a called strike, says Hirschbeck.
That there was the Price cut fastball, picking up the outside corner at 86 miles an hour.
Working with Blake Swihart here today. And the 2-2 to Kipnis. Waved at and missed. He got him. Strike three. The tag by Blake Swihart. Back-to-back strikeouts to begin his Red Sox career.
Now the Red Sox defense is brought to you by Southwest Airlines, and this afternoon Travis Shaw will be at third base, Xander Bogaerts the shortstop, Dustin Pedroia at second, Hanley Ramirez the first baseman. Left to right, Brock Holt, Jackie Bradley Jr. and Mookie Betts, and Blake Swihart doing the catching for David Price.
So 2 men out, and a youngster Lindor hitting .313 last year with 12 home runs after they called him up in June. He was only 21 years old, and before long, a lot of folks here, Jerry, were calling him their best player and a Gold Glove candidate.
Yeah, look at the spot he's in, the number 3 spot in the batting order for Terry Francona. Very good defensively at shortstop.
Got great hands, a very accurate arm, and that's off the outside.
That's a nice position to have locked in for a number of years, that shortstop position.
Terry Francona has rung up 11 consecutive winning seasons between the Red Sox and the Indians and reached the postseason 6 times. The 2-0. A rattler to short. Bogaerts there. Fires and gets him. And Price begins with a 1-2-3 and 2 Ks.
Which side is our best side? This one? That one? You know what? Actually, our best side is this one. Our heart. Because only an airline with a heart would give you great deals like this. Now you can fly for as low as $69 one way. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Low fares, nothing to hide. That's transparency.
Ma, Pa, why do we settle for cable?
Because we're settlers, and that's what we do.
But with DirecTV and AT&T, you can get your TV and wireless service from one provider.
Are not we your providers? Do we not provide you with this succulent jackrabbit pie, this delicious gray water soup, and a single lick off the family lolly every harvest moon?
Don't be a settler. Get a $100 reward card when you switch to DirecTV.
A hotly contested election, the direction of our country at stake. Senator Kelly Ayotte believes in being thoughtful and protecting the Constitution, especially when it comes to the Supreme Court. A Supreme Court justice serves for a lifetime. President Obama wants to rush through another liberal nominee. Kelly Ayotte disagrees. She believes the people of New Hampshire should have a voice in this nomination. Stand with Senator Ayotte.
Red Sox baseball on NESN is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. Still ice on the railing, so winter has not released its grip yet here in Cleveland or back home in New England. But we're playing baseball, and it's the top of the second. No score, by the way, 11 pitches for David Price in his first inning of work for the Red Sox.
Yeah, this is a game, Dave, where you've got to play for the early runs. I mean, you got 2 aces on the mound. You got a cold day, not a hitter's day. You've got to play for a run early in this ball game if you get the opportunity.
David Ortiz, the DH to get in. Big Papi entering the final season of his legendary Red Sox career, as vital as ever to the ball club, and begins his swan song with 503 career home runs. In for strike one from Kluber, and 2 of those have come off of this ace right-hander.
Yeah, pretty good success. 273, couple of home runs against Kluber.
And the 0-1. Chopper right back to Kluber. And the underhand toss to retire David Ortiz, and Kluber has set down the first 4.
See good movement on that last fastball from Kluber. That ball, more of a two-seam fastball. It was running away. Ortiz thought he had a nice pitch down the middle, and then it just kind of runs away from him, and the result, the ground ball back to the pitcher. There's that little bit of a tail on it that takes it to just out of the strike zone. You know, Ortiz trying to pull that ball, just taps it right back to Kluber.
Here's Hanley Ramirez at first base. And everybody is entitled to their opinion about statistics in spring training, but he played in 21 games in Florida and was not charged with an error. And Jerry, I know the more you saw him on a daily basis, the more comfortable you and everybody else got with the idea of him playing first base.
Yeah, I think the feeling is very good going into the season. Now, I've been saying through spring training, and I will continue to say it, that it's very important that Hanley get off to a good defensive start in the regular season, because that will give him confidence. He has a good 10 to 20 games defensively at that position. I think that gives him great confidence for the rest of the year. But I got to tell you, he and Butterfield worked very, very hard all spring training. For that, I give Hanley a lot of credit. He got out of left field, he got back into the infield, and he put his work in.
I give Butter a lot of credit, too. They developed quite a good relationship. That's in there for strike 3. Caught him looking. Second K in the book for Kluber, and that one froze Hanley.
Yeah, that's a good pitch. Very good pitch by Kluber, down and away. Plenty of the strike zone, as you'll see. And just something to admire if you're a hitter. There's not much you can do with a pitch like that except hope to foul it off.
That's unhittable.
Yeah, especially in that count.
Travis Shaw, the Red Sox new third baseman, 270 with 13 home runs in just 65 games last season, made quite an impression. Pablo Sandoval came into camp as the incumbent, but Travis Shaw won that job, hitting .338, and what he did last year. He's 2 for 5 with a home run off Kluber, so he has some experience. This is an amazing thrill for Travis. He grew up here in Ohio. His dad played here. He started Kent State as a third baseman less than an hour away.
Yeah, and you know, he just flat out won the job at third base this spring. Sandoval came in bad shape. He did not perform well defensively during spring training. Travis Shaw did, and he won the job.
2 down. That one hammered through for a base hit. So Travis becomes the first base runner, first hit for the Red Sox here in 2016.
Yeah, it's a little surprising, Dave. And, you know, we looked up at the defense. They did not have the shift on. A lot of teams have the shift on Travis Shaw. They elected not to do that. And instead of having the third out of the inning, if they were in the shift, he just picks up a base hit between first and second. Now, normally in the shift, you'd have that second baseman out on the grass. That would have been the third out. So we'll see if they adjust as the game goes on. But that's generally how most teams approach Shaw.
Brock Holt starting today in left field. 280, 2 homers, 45 runs batted in as the Red Sox lone all-star last year. And individually had a very special season. He hit for the cycle last June. Started games at 7 positions. Not bad for a kid who weighed 84 pounds as a high school freshman at Texas. Two down, shot, first base, no score. The looper toward left, and that's going to drop down for a base hit. He slices in a single, Shaw up to second. So back-to-back 2-out hits for the Red Sox in front of Blake Swihart.
Yeah, pretty good job there by Brock Holt, too. That was a breaking ball that was down and in, but he got his hands inside the baseball, and most of the time he'll pull that breaking ball. Instead, he slices it to left field for the base hit. So the Red Sox do get a man in a scoring position with 2 outs in this inning. Let's take a look at that last pitch and location. You'll see a breaking ball that's going to be down, out over the plate, and that inside-out swing, slicing it to the opposite field for the hit.
Well, the number 8 hitter, Swihart, the switch hitting catcher, will try and pick up a run here right away against Kluber in the second inning. Shot second base, Holt at first. Like 274 with 5 home runs last season. He'll take strike one. Now, it's important for every team to score first, but for the Red Sox, a team that finished last year, went 56-24, Jerry, when scoring the first run. That's 32 games over 500.
Yeah, and they worked on that during spring training quite a bit. You know, trying to get those early leads, trying to do the things fundamentally early in a ball game offensively that's going to create some runs for you.
That may include seeing Mookie Betts, for example. He told us this in spring training, bunting more often.
Yep.
Yeah, bunting for a hit, bunting to move somebody over more frequently than last year. The 1-1 waved at and missed. That was filthy down into the dirt.
Yeah, it's one of those few changeups that we see from Kluber, but very, very effective. You know, you're not expecting it as a hitter, and completely fooled right there was Swihart.
Jackie Bradley Jr. on deck. Crowd not nearly as large as what yesterday's was going to be, a sellout. Kluber with a 1-2. Cut on and missed. That one tied him up inside at 83 miles an hour. He struck out 2 and 2 left in the inning.
That HP Color LaserJet printer has saved us a bundle.
It's just so tiny, and it looks so cute on my desk.
When I told my boss that it's 40% faster than our old printer, its Jet Intelligence toner cartridges print a third more pages, and WB Mason would deliver next day for free, he promoted me.
Must be some printer. Third party this week. Who but WB Mason, an HP preferred partner.
Intelligent all-new Audi A4 is here. Experience the all-new Audi A4 at your local dealer.
Hey, you know what makes my Aries reclining sofa and reclining love seat such an untouchable value? You get 1, 2, 3, 4 recliners. Both pieces only $9.99. Or power them all up and recline with the touch of a button. Both pieces only $11.99. Only at My Bob's Discount Furniture.
This is untouchable. Right, I'm so relaxed right now. You look divine. I can't believe the house out. I want to leave. Hey, ladies, what are you doing for lunch?
Red Lobster's Lobster Fest is a party on every plate, and we're about to keep it going. Yeah, you've got 3 more weeks to try the largest variety of lobster dishes of the year, like Lobster Lover's Dream and new dueling lobster tails. This party can't last, so hurry in.
Taking the hassle out of yard work just got even easier. During the Echo National Sales Event, get a pro-grade Echo trimmer or handheld blower for only $149.99 each, backed by a 5-year warranty. But hurry, these deals will be gone before you know it. So take back your yard with Echo.
Bottom of the second, Red Sox had a scoring chance with 2 men on, but Kluber struck out Swihart. So we are scoreless with the Indians batting for the second time. And here comes old friend Mike Napoli. He's at first base for Terry Francona, one of the Red Sox bearded brothers from the 2013 World Champs. Great to see him healthy again. Mike hit 18 home runs between the Red Sox and Texas last year. But now the everyday guy at first for the Indians, and he waves and misses.
Change up that time from Price. You know, the Indians, they've got a stock load of pitches that they could have traded, but elected not to. They wanted to hold on to those guys. They're looking for some power in the lineup, and they figured that Napoli may be able to provide some of that.
Now Price had started, but then came to a stop. Nobody on base, of course. Mike Napoli has been up against David Price. There's a big grin there 42 times, and Price has struck him out on 22 occasions. That's a ball. Red Sox dealing Mike to Texas last August. He'll always have a special place in Red Sox history. And what he did in 2013. The tiny caricature on the inside of the Sox 2013 championship ring looks exactly like Mike Napoli. Full beard. Price has gone to 3-1 on him. And a strike. Napoli thought it missed.
That's a good pitch by Price. It just barely picks up the outside corner, but 3-1, you don't want middle in because that's exactly where Napoli's looking to drive the long ball. So Price stays away from him and just barely picks up the corner.
Maybe somewhat generous. But now Price thinking about his third strikeout. And outside, he walked it. So Napoli is aboard. And it's official. The 2016 Red Sox season is underway. Be sure to download the Sox schedule directly into your favorite desktop, web, or mobile calendar program. Visit NESN.com/schedule and download today. Red Sox supposed to play 3 games here in Cleveland, then on to Toronto before returning to Fenway Park for the first time. Now the DH, Carlos Santana. Very, very disciplined hitter. Nobody out and a man on. And ball 1.
Red Sox playing Santana very shallow out in right field as Mookie Betts, kind of shallow as Jackie Bradley Jr. in center. That breeze today is blowing from from right field to left field. Nothing like it was yesterday. A much calmer day today than what we experienced yesterday in Cleveland when they eventually called the game off. What, about 2 hours before it was supposed to start?
About 2 hours. Bit of a stunner because everyone assumed it would be dry between 4 and 7. For the most part it was, but it was bitter cold, and the wind, I think, played an active role in that decision. Tomorrow night, a different story from what we've experienced today, and that is outside for ball 3. So Price on the verge of walking 2 in a row here. Napoli on at first base. Yan Gomes is on deck. 0-0 in the second inning. The 3-0 taking all the way and across for a strike.
Now, David Price usually has very good control. Last year only walked 47 batters on the season. Of course, walking Napoli to start off the second and falling behind here to Santana.
And Santana will not swing unless he's absolutely sure. 113 and 108 walks the last 2 seasons. The pitch. And inside, he did walk him. And so the Indians are starting to build something here with nobody out, 2 on. And for more on the weather, let's bring in Garen Austin. Garen, how are you?
Doing well, thanks, Opie. You know, it's about 34 degrees outside today, so a big improvement over yesterday. David Price said he went out to play catch before the game was supposed to start yesterday, and his hands were numb. It's still cold, but it's sunny. It's really nice. I talked to a couple of guys on how they're dealing with the weather. Travis Shaw's from the area, and he said he's used to the weather, but it's always difficult. He said his legs don't get cold. It's primarily his hands. He said he's got hand warmers in the back of his pockets, and he sticks his hands in there. And guys, Brock Cold said he's layering up. He's got tights on, sleeves, and they're going to deal with this.
No choice. Thanks, Garen. Right now, Price pitching himself into a bit of a bind. Could use a double play ball from Yan Gomes. The catcher hit .231 last year with 12 home runs and battled injury. And strike 1. He got hurt last April. He missed about 6 weeks when Rajah Davis slid into his leg at home plate, causing a sprain. And now the 2 are teammates here in Cleveland. Napoli at second, Santana at first. Fly ball into center. Jackie Bradley has to back up on it. Makes the catch. Napoli tagging and looking to advance, and he will as the throw comes to second base. So Gomes advances that runner. Well struck fly ball, and now they're on the corners with one man out.
Yeah, wise by Bradley, too, to get that ball back into second base. Don't try to throw out Napoli at third base. You're not going to be able to do that. Try to keep the double play in order. Keep that runners at first and third now, and a ground ball could get you out of the inning.
And that's what Price is looking for off the bat of the veteran Marlon Byrd, who is signed with just a couple of weeks to go in spring training by the Indians. He was signed on March 18th. He was briefly a member of the 2012 Red Sox for about 34 games. He was released and then suspended for using a banned substance. Check swing, but a strike. That's a swing and a miss, according to John Hirschbeck. He offered. This guy nearly disappeared from baseball, winding up in the Mexican League. The Mets found him there and resurrected his career. They would eventually trade him to the Pirates. And he signed a 2-year deal with the Phillies, showing he could still hit. Hit 23 home runs last year.
A couple of bad swings to start off with. Got fooled on a pitch inside, then just waving at a fastball that was well off the outside part of the plate.
Price trying to put him away. Napoli at third, Santana at first. No score in the second inning on opening day. The 0-2. He would not offer.
And trying to get him to chase a high fastball that time, again out of the strike zone. And he almost started to go after it, but did hold up.
Juan Uribe, another veteran on deck. One, two. He got him. Third strikeout for David Price in a big spot there. So now they're 2 down.
Now, is there any doubt what he wanted to do right there with Bird when he got a couple of strikes on him, and that was elevate the fastball? You see pitches 3 and 4, and both up and out of the strike zone. That time the swing and miss by Bird, and a huge strikeout with the man at third base. No contact. Runners have to hold.
Uribe next. A career .268 hitter. Now 37 years old. Veteran of 7 major league teams. 6 feet and listed at about 250. Terry Francona says he isn't going to be running any marathons, but he can still play. Price trying to get out of it. And ball 1. Well, only 4 pitchers have earned a win on opening day in their Red Sox debut. The last was Pedro Martinez in 1998. Price trying to make it 5. Here's the 1-0. A strike.
You get to a situation here where you get a couple of strikes on Uribe. You may see an attempted double steal at some point, you know, trying to squeeze a run home. Any run is important, and when you're working to the bottom of the batting order, that becomes a possibility.
Napoli always a very smart base runner. He certainly was in his Sox days. The 1-1. He snuck it in there at 91, right at the bottom of the strike zone.
And if you got to see it, you got to see it now with 2 strikes. Here's the pitch by David Price, right about knee high and just about middle plate.
If he can get Uribe on strikes, it'll be his 4th in 2 innings for David Price. He comes set, and the 1-2. 2-2. The Indians ending last season with a winning record. They did go 81-80, but it's a ball club that is going to find itself having trouble scoring runs without their best hitter Michael Brantley to open the year. He's recovering from right shoulder surgery. They hope to get him back in a couple of weeks, but it's a big miss for Cleveland. Price with a 2-2. Flared foul. Uribe in spots like this can be very pesky. Known as a real leadership guy. Played for 3 teams last year, the Dodgers, the Braves, and the Mets, but he was with the Mets in the World Series.
Had a chance to lead 3 teams last year.
Cowgill on deck. Here's the 2-2 again to Uribe. Got him! He struck him out. So Price walks 2 and he strikes out 2.
What's the most awarded car company of the year? Ranking from top to bottom. Luxury cars seem like they would be top awarded.
Better be some awards behind what you're paying for, right?
The final answer?
Uh-oh.
Chevy, the most awarded car company 2 years in a row.
Wow, it's like a luxury car.
I was shocked. I mean, it's like, this is Chevy?
For a limited time, get cash back for 15% of the MSRP on most remaining 2015 Chevy vehicles while they last.
Visit your New England Chevy dealer.
Come on. Don't drop your phone. Drop your network. Bring your phone to Cricket Wireless. We have more 4G LTE coverage nationwide than T-Mobile or Sprint. Cricket Wireless, something to smile about.
Some said Wendy's 4 for $4 was the biggest thing since.
And now for tonight's biggest news.
The 4 for $4 now comes with your choice of a Junior Bacon Cheeseburger or the new Crispy Chicken BLT. It's the biggest thing until...
Hey, TC, I have the perfect slogan for Nesson this year. Socks till you drop.
Huh.
All right, that one wasn't it. Sockstacular, sockstastic, socksational. TC, we got it. Huh? What do you say? Wicked socksome. That's no.
Keep
Melt in your mouth, not in your socks? TC, hold up, I got another one. Wait up.
Time now for our Dunkin' Donuts poll question. Begging the question here, should all cold weather city teams open the season on the road? Text 1 for yes, 2 for no. Text your answer to 536-536. Message and data rates may apply. 1 message per vote. Visit Nesson.com/terms for terms and conditions and privacy policy as Jackie Bradley leads it off and checks. It's high for ball 1. I know how you feel.
Yes, text 1, please.
Many times. We got bit yesterday, that's for sure. Jackie strokes a single into right field, a 1-hopper to Cowgill. He really had a nice spring swing in the bat. He hit .377 with 3 home runs, and looks like it may carry over.
Yeah, the impressive thing about Bradley in spring training is he used the whole field. I mean, he pulled the ball, went up the middle, used the opposite field. That time he gets the fastball from Kluber, and they're in a shift on Bradley, but he still drops it in front of Cowgill out there in right field. So let's see how the Red Sox play this early in the ball game. Again, you know, key getting on top in this game with conditions the way they are.
And the pitching the way it is. Mookie Betts struck out to start the ball game. He's 0 for 1. Third baseman Uribe is in right at the cut of the grass against a possible bunt. I think most Sox fans are aware of what a talented bowler Mookie is. He's bowled 7 perfect games. He had a few more over the winter. That comes from his mom, Diana, a very serious league bowler. And the legend is in the family, the night before Mookie was born, she bowled her last frame at 9:30 and went into labor at 11. Pops this one foul, and that one will curl back out of play. So you know you're going to be a bowler if mom went into labor about an hour and a half after her last frame.
That is kind of an amazing story right there.
A year ago, he participated in the Professional Bowlers Association event. Looking down to Brian Butterfield at third.
Interesting defense right now as they are kind of sliding over toward right field. Rajay Davis and Cowgill playing him to the opposite field. A big gap in left center field for Betts.
Kluber from the set. High deep drive, sock to left. That one carrying way back, and it is gone. Mookie Betts with a home run, a 2-run shot, and the Red Sox have the lead on opening day. Jerry, it sounded gone.
Yes, it did. It sounded very well upon contact. And, you know, I couldn't understand the defense really against him because, you know, we know Mookie likes to pull the ball, and he certainly got into this one. Let's see what the pitch is from Kluber, a fastball. And it stays down and in. And you know what happens to pitches that are inside the Betts? He will generally lose it.
Dustin Pedroia looking to follow, and that's a strike. Man, did he jump on that. All grins. There's some theory that with all the bowling he's done, it's one of the reasons that wrist is so strong and his hand's so strong.
Well, he has got some of the quickest hands in the game of baseball.
Little floater toward left coming on Bird, has time. One man out. Speedway is proud to be New England's first choice for value and convenience. For every Red Sox home run this season, Speedway donates $500 to Boston's Children's Hospital. Stop by Speedway in any store and pick up your Speedway rewards card to start earning points today. And you're off to a nice start.
You know, you mentioned the fact that Kluber gave up 22 home runs a year ago, his first of 2016.
Here's Xander, up and in, ball one. Well, you know, he went 18-9 when he won the Cy Young. Then 9-16 last year. So much of that was lousy run support, but the home runs were a bit of a flag. As that one misses for a ball. Xander 0 for 1. He's grounded out to short. Xander averaging about 33 hits per month last year. Checks his swing, and it's across for a strike. DraftKings, the official one-day fantasy baseball partner of the Boston Red Sox. Experience the thrill of playing on DraftKings right now. Play free daily using promo code NESSON at DraftKings.com. Cut on and missed.
And you can see where the first baseman Napoli is playing. He's well off that line at first base, and I think that's how they're going to attack Bogaerts this year. Take away that 3-4 hole, because that's where he likes to go, and especially with 2 strikes.
I guess 2 now, 2-2. Fly ball into right center. Well, he did take a shot at right. Here comes Cowgill. 2 down in front of Big Poppy. Red Sox ahead 2-0 on a blast by Mookie Betts. Now, Mookie hit 18 last year. You see that going up.
Oh, absolutely. You know, and it amazes me that they continue to pitch him inside. I mean, if you're going to go inside against Mookie Betts, you've got to go way inside where he can't swing at it, move him off the plate, and then try to go back away from him. It seems like any time somebody leaves something inside, middle in, he hits the ball hard.
Well, David Ortiz has homered 4 times on opening day. He's 0 for 1 today. That includes his time in the Minnesota Twins. Carl Yastrzemski has the club record with 6 opening day home runs. Dwight Evans next with 5. And as mentioned, Pedroia with 4. The 0-1 down into the dirt. David hit 37 last year, drove in 108 runs. And how the Red Sox would love to see him go out with similar numbers in the final year of his legendary career. 1-2.
One of the things he was doing in spring training late was he was pulling his head off the ball, you know, trying to pull the ball, and it almost like it takes a couple of swings to the opposite field for him to get going, where he keeps that head on the ball, drives the ball hard. Head discipline was a little bit of an issue the last few weeks of spring training for him.
Got a piece and flicked it foul. We talked about David's 503 career home runs. That does not include his 17 postseason homers.
Well, that's pretty good head discipline right there for Ortiz, but he did foul it off. It fouls it off to the left side. A little bit late on that fastball.
Corey Kluber's 1-2. Stroked into left center field. That one headed for the wall. Rising up, and it is right there at the base of the wall. David into second base, and he's got himself a double.
Dave, that's exactly what I was talking about. You know, when he starts finding that gap in left center field and driving the ball in Boston off the left field wall, you're going to see good head discipline. And look at his head right there, right on contact. That is a perfect pitch, and that's what he was not doing during spring training. He was letting that head fly, and a result was a lot of weak ground balls to the right side. Well, he picked the right time right there to keep the head on the baseball and drive that ball the other way. That's what he needs to get going.
At 37 doubles last year, now his first of this season. As you look at Chili Davis, appropriately named today. And here's Hanley, 0 for 1 with a strikeout. 249, 19 homers last year. 10 of those came in the first month. Not many after. Looking to pick up his first RBI. Red Sox ahead 2-0. And that's ball one. Just how good a hitter Hanley has been. Kind of lost in that left field odyssey last year. From 06 until 2014, only 3 hitters in baseball had more hits than Hanley Ramirez.
In my opinion, Obi, I think he lost his way last year in a number of ways. Obviously being moved to the outfield, number 1. Hurting his shoulder, number 2. And he has made some adjustments in his swing this year that looks more like Hanley Ramirez of the past, the guy that wants to hit for average. He doesn't have the bat up high. He kind of lays it on his shoulder. He doesn't have the high leg kick like he did last year, violent leg kick.
The bat goes flying on the swing and a miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes, reaching the outfield.
It's like that cut fastball that time, and Ramirez just letting that bat fly down the third base line. And you can see from the side, you remember last year and the high leg kick, the violent leg kick that he had, and what that does is cause a lot of moving parts. You know, you rise jumping up and down. You're not as calm and steady at the plate, and it looks like he's been that way all spring training long, trying to get back to, you know, at times taking the ball to right center field where he was so effective earlier in his career.
Ortiz at second, 2 down, 2 runs in on a homer by Mookie. And the Sox ahead 2-0 over Cory Kluber and the Indians. Broke his bat on a tapper to Kipnis. Will set him down, but the Red Sox are on the board. A blast from Mookie Betts.
This Toyota certified used vehicle has passed its 160-point inspection. And behind every Toyota certified used vehicle is a factory-backed 1-year, 12,000-mile warranty, a factory-backed 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, plus 1 year of roadside assistance. Toyota certified used vehicles. The factory has your back. Now get 1.9 for $60 on many popular Toyota certified used vehicles. The best new cars make the best used cars.
Hello, Geico? Yeah, I was just talking about your emergency roadside service and how it's available 24/7 and then our car overheated. But what are the chances? Can you send a tow truck, please? The location? You're not going to believe this, but it's in a tree. I wish I was joking, mate, but it's literally stuck in a tree. A chainsaw? No. All we really need is a tow truck.
Day or night, Geico's emergency roadside service is there for you.
My Prism solid mahogany bedroom, handcrafted from 100% plantation-grown solid mahogany timber. That's solid mahogany.
Sounds expensive.
It only sounds expensive, like foyer. You get it all. Dresser, mirror, flip-top chest, queen bed with storage galore, even the nightstand. The whole kit and caboodle, only $22.99.
No way.
That's my Bob's way. No phony gimmicks, just untouchable value every day. Only at my Bob's Discount Furniture.
What are hops? For Sam Adams, they're the soul of craft beer. They bring bitterness, flavor, and aroma. American hops, they're piney and citrusy, like a lumberjack chopping grapefruit. German hops, they're floral and spicy, a beautiful bouquet with thorns. English hops, earthy and delicate, a beer lover's cup of tea. Whatever hops you like, however much you like them, Sam Adams is crafting a brew for you. For the love of beer.
Red Sox season ticket holders experience the best seats, price, and benefits at Fenway. For information on becoming a season ticket holder, please visit redsox.com/season tickets or call 877-RED SOX 9 today. Happy to be joined by Alex Spear of the Boston Globe, joining us in the booth for opening day, take two. Great to have you with us.
Thanks so much. It's great to see you guys.
I know this will be a regular thing all through the season, but right on the heels of what Mookie Betts just did at 22 last year, 68 extra base hits. He's now 23. Looks like he wants to top that, and off to a great start.
He's really an extraordinary talent in so many ways. When you think about the ability, first of all, he didn't hit a single home run in 2012 in Lowell. The fact that he's been able to make adjustments on the fly to his swing and his offensive approach to become this kind of emerging power hitter, an extra base force, is striking and tells you something about his aptitude. Beyond that, Jerry, you talk about it a lot. His ability to turn on any fastball and just unload on it with this kind of incredible force. He was among major league leaders in exit velocity, but he doesn't swing and miss, so he's able to create incredible force even while he's under control, and that's a rare combination that makes him a very special leadoff hitter.
Alex, I think also the thing that has really improved with Mookie too is the fact we know that he can hit the inside pitch, but he's also now learning how to handle the outside pitch, and so when he gets to a couple of strikes, he can forget about middle in, look away, and still drive the ball the opposite field to pick up base hits. So it's a learning process for him, and he's learning very quickly.
The same thing has repeated itself at level after level. In fact, in Pawtucket, I believe, he, shortly after his debut, ended up hitting a home run to the opposite field in one of his first games. His ability to keep the bat head in the zone and still impact it in that special way does allow him to have that all fields approach and be really good.
Davis flicking one foul. Price striking out Cowgill to begin the inning. He has 5 strikeouts here into the third inning as we chat with Alex Spear of the Boston Globe. Red Sox ahead here on opening day, delayed 2-0 behind the blast by Mookie Betts. So the heck with the bunting thing we were talking about. If you're going to hit shots like that, all spring and summer. I know he wants to do it, though. He told me, drop one down, keep that third baseman honest once in a while.
Well, there's some gimmies there. They're going to play him deep because of his ability to pull the ball, and if they're going to give you a base hit, you're down in the ball game, and the home run's not going to make a difference. Why not take it for the base hit?
Overall, I do wonder whether or not baseball is going to see an increase in bunting. Because of the extreme shifts that we've seen over the course of time, you've seen an increasing number of power-hitting left-handed hitters in the last few years taking their shots to drop down bunts and reposition the field a little bit. If a guy like Betts can do it and kind of put that third baseman in a dangerous position up close to the batter's box, there's some hits there.
It's all the shifting. It's also the bullpens, because you've got to play for a run a lot more early in a game or maybe midway through a game than you would in the past because of these dominating bullpens that everybody has.
And overall, for the last few years, last year was a little bit of a change in pace, but scoring has been down across baseball, and so the number of times that you're playing for that one run overall is going to be greater, which means the impact of a good bunter can be greater. But I still don't think we're going to be seeing the Red Sox do all that much sacrifice bunting.
Rajai Davis with a wild swing and a miss, and that is 4 consecutive strikeouts and 6 already in the game for Price.
And he's done it with 3 different pitches at this point. Really.
Yeah, he lost his way a little bit for the first 2 hitters in the second inning, walking both, but he has certainly bounced back since that time, picking up 4 strikeouts. And that last one, that looks like the cut fastball down and in to pick up his 2nd strikeout of the inning.
When will the Sox get Carson Smith back? Because that's huge in that bullpen.
That'll be interesting to monitor. They think that he's going to be back ahead in all likelihood of Eduardo Rodriguez, just because he doesn't have to get stretched out as a starter. But right now it's still very early in his throwing process, so probably premature to affix a date to it.
It's a big miss in the bullpen. And I know he's new to the team, so a lot of folks are like, well, Carson Smith, who's even Carson Smith? But with all the right-hand heavy lineups you see in the AL East, it's big.
The timing of losing him was pretty significant, because after the Red Sox get out of here, they face a Toronto team that is just relentless in terms of its right-handed hitters, and the same is true in Baltimore.
Price makes another good pitch, and Pedroia fires on to first to get him. Alex, thanks for being with us.
Good to see you guys.
We'll see you again soon. A shutdown inning for Price. He gets a 1-2-3.
Fios is not cable. We're wired differently. In the last 10 years, our competitors have received a few awards, but we've received a few more, including J.D. Power, who ranked us highest in customer satisfaction for the 3rd year in a row. Only Fios has the fastest internet on the most awarded network. Now get super fast 100 meg internet TV and phone for just $69.99 per month online. Cable can't offer internet speeds this fast at a price this good. Only Fios can.
Are you a Medicare beneficiary? Are you getting the most out of your plan? Due to healthcare reform, significant new benefits have been added to Medicare plans. If you have Medicare Parts A, B, or D, or any Medicare Advantage plan, benefits are now available with no deductibles or co-pays. And you can get dental, vision, and prescription coverage included. Call the Select Advisor helpline now to make sure you have all the benefits you're entitled to. At no cost or obligation, an experienced representative will compare and shop plans across multiple providers. The cost of health insurance and the denial of coverage due to pre-existing conditions has become a serious problem in America. But now, healthcare reform is available. Call now to make sure you're taking advantage of all the benefits offered to you. Speak with an advisor to help you get everything you're entitled to. Don't miss the deadline. Call Select Advisor today.
Call 1-800-511-6076. That's 1-800-511-6076.
Sundays, Nesson brings you a fascinating study on New England's most unique native.
Hey, Larry! Bet you didn't see that coming.
Observe his natural habitat.
Might be time to take off the shirt and pull out the guns.
Follow his hunting patterns.
Let the cook-off begin!
And learn the calls of the mad fisherman.
Flounder!
All from a safe distance.
I may need professional help.
Charlie Moore Outdoors, presented by Obashan Hardware, Eastern Propane and Oil, and Subaru of New England. Sundays on Nesson.
MLB.TV Premium is everything you've come to expect and more. You can watch every out-of-market game on all 30 teams in true high definition on over 400 supported devices. Visit MLB.TV for details. Red Sox coming to bat here in the 4th inning on top 2-0 against Cory Kluber. And here's Travis Shaw, who is 1 for 1 with a base hit in the 2nd.
A little surprised last time they didn't have the shift on him. They don't have it on again. They still are playing him to pull, but not a shift position. And last time, had they been in one, it would have been an out.
Poke foul. Now, Travis says this is all true. His dad, Jeff Shaw, pitched for 12 years in the big leagues, but in 1990 he was about to make his major league debut for these Indians. When Travis was born, April 16, 1990, he was less than a day old when Joe Bick, who was Jeff's agent, called him and said, "That is my 2008 draft pick. Little Travis is going to be the guy I signed in 2008. And wouldn't you know it, when he was drafted out of high school by the Red Sox in 08, Joe Bick indeed became his agent, and he's represented father and son.
That is an incredible story.
Travis says absolutely true. He checks, and that is in there for strike 3. So caught him looking. He's 1 for 2 on the day.
Looks like the cut fastball that time from Kluber, picking up the inside corner, kind of fooling Shaw. You know, you expect the straight fastball, then you get that little cut right at the end. You think it's inside, but no, it's on the corner. The thing that impresses me about Shaw is the way he handles himself around the ball club and in the clubhouse, and that goes back to obviously being in a clubhouse his whole life, but so calm, so relaxed.
You get the feeling as Brock Holt gets in that if he does go into a 1 for 20 or something like that, it's not going to bury his season. His head's not going to go underwater.
I agree with you, Dave. I think that he's seen all this before. He's seen it as a kid. He's lived it now as a player.
Brock Holt 1 for 1. He sliced a single to left field in the 2nd inning. Red Sox ahead 2-0 on a Mookie Betts 2-run shot in the 3rd off Kluber up into the left field seats. And he left that one high on Brock. Blake Swihart on deck. Kluber's already over 50 pitches on the afternoon.
Yeah.
Foul off the catcher. There are a number of rules that have changed this season, and among them pitching coaches and managers will be on a 30-second clock on every mound visit. The timer is going to be visible in every ballpark, and it starts as soon as he leaves the dugout.
And I think that's a great rule, because I think for wherever a pitching coach has to say, he can get it out there in 30 seconds.
2-2 check, but he went, and that is strike 3. Back-to-back Ks for Kluber. We're talking with Alex Spear about the Red Sox on the disabled list right now. Eduardo Rodriguez, Carson Smith, Christian Vasquez, and Brandon Workman. And Carson Smith, a key, certainly Rodriguez is, because of that knee injury relatively early in spring training, and a key man in the rotation.
Yeah, if there's anything negative coming out of spring training for the Red Sox, it's to me the injuries to Rodriguez and Smith, because those are two major players, I feel, on this pitching staff this year. We know how good Rodriguez can possibly be, and wait till you see Carson Smith. I mean, this guy is pretty special coming out of the bullpen. So, you know, you start a season where you got to get off to a good start. You're missing two key pitchers, one in the bullpen, one in the rotation.
And going to Toronto next. The Blue Jays already off to a quick start, 2-0, and mashing the ball. John Farrell and Carl Willis, they know they're going to get him back and need him back in that bullpen. He's a big kid with a heavy sinker. Well, 3-0 now on Blake, who struck out his first time up. Always going bare-fisted. No batting gloves for Swihart, regardless of the conditions. Bases empty and 2 down. The automatic strike.
That's very rare to see a hitter go with no batting gloves. As a matter of fact, a lot of guys in this type of weather will double up on the batting gloves. I know Pedroia does that, wears 2 pair. Mookie Betts at time will wear 3 pair of batting gloves.
3?
3. Small, medium, and large.
Up high for ball 4, and the first walk issued today by Kluber. Well, you know, April means baseball is back at Fenway. Great tickets for the opening homestand remain. That includes Patriots Day, by the way. They're still on sale. And for information and to buy your tickets, you can go right now to redsox.com/tickets. That first homestand is a long one, beginning on the 11th against the Orioles. They're in for 3. Toronto's in for 4, and then Tampa Bay for 3. Now Jackie Bradley 1 for 1. He checks a strike. Jackie was on base after his single when Mookie Betts blasted the homer. 2-0 Red Sox. And Betts is next. Should we get that far here in the 4th inning? Swihart, of course, runs well for a catcher.
I think in this situation, when you're down a couple of strikes with 2 outs, if you're going to pull any play at all, it may be a delay steal.
Mike Napoli holding him at first base. Hard ground ball into the shift. Kipnis from right field. And that will retire the side. 1 man left. We played 3.5. Still the Red Sox 2 and the Indians nothing.
Which side is our best side? This one? That one? You know what? Actually, our best side is this one. Our heart. Because only an airline with a heart would give you great deals like this. Now you can fly for as low as $69 one way. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Low fares, nothing to hide. That's transparency.
The world's a pretty big place. Good thing I'm so well connected. Thanks to all the impressive technology in my stylish Toyota Corolla Sport Plus. Like Entune audio, Bluetooth connectivity, and a backup cam. And knowing about Corolla's reliability and how long they last, I know that I'll be able to connect to the rest of the world with my Corolla for a long time to come. Toyota, let's go places.
T-Mobile hit it out of the park in 2015. We doubled our LTE coverage, and now we cover over 305 million Americans. Our new extended range LTE goes 2 times farther and works 4 times better in buildings than before. Just in time for baseball season, T-Mobile customers can catch every moment all season long with a free MLB TV premium subscription. Hurry and sign up by April 10th at T-Mobile.com/MLB.
It's time for Xfinity Spring Savings, so switch to an X1 Triple Play for $89.99 a month for 2 years and change the way you experience TV. Xfinity X1 is faster, simpler,
Show me romantic comedies.
and easier than ever before. There's never been a better time to experience X1, but this offer won't last. Get the X1 Triple Play from Comcast for $89.99 a month for 2 full years, or ask how to upgrade and get $400 back. Sale ends May 1st. Call 1-800-XFINITY or go online today.
Out of the bottom of the 4th inning, but David Price's pitching line is brought to you by Ace Ticket.
Well, 3 innings so far, not a hit allowed for Price. A couple of walks, but that didn't hurt him, and 6 strikeouts so far in this game for Price.
With the Tigers in Toronto, he went 18-5 at 2.45 ERA last year. Here's Francisco Lindor to lead off the 4th inning for the Indians. He's 0 for 1 with a grounded to short. He'll be followed by Mike Napoli and Carlos Santana.
That's a very good changeup right there by David Price. I mean, that one really surprised Lindor. Down and away from him. It's like cut fastball away.
Line drive into right field for a base hit. That was on an 0-2 pitch. So there's the first hit of the day for the Indians, a single by Lindor.
Yeah, didn't get it far enough away. Wanted to go to the outside, off the outside edge, and try to bring it back to the corner on the cutter. Instead, it got too much of the plate, and 0-2, Lindor picks up the base hit to the opposite field. You can see where Swihart is set up and see where the pitch is. Too much of home plate with no balls and 2 strikes, and first base hit of the game. Lindor had to run right through the bag because they were playing so shallow against him. Betts was in right field. Was afraid maybe a throw would come back into first base.
Mike Napoli now. He took ball 4 in the 2nd inning. Price walked back-to-back hitters. Then he got a fly out, and then he struck out Bird and Uribe to get out of that jam. Price with a 1-0. Right through there at 88. Mike Napoli, the kind of player that Terry Francona really loves on his teams. Gritty, tough, capable of hitting one out of the ballpark. He's got several of those guys on this team, like Uribe. Price hoping for a double play ball here. Napoli gets a piece of it.
That's a pretty good swing right there by Napoli. That's a power swing. And what saved Price is he was able to keep that ball just a little bit to the outside part of the plate against Napoli. Fouled it straight back. And you see the location of that pitch. I mean, if you move that pitch in over the plate another couple of inches, Napoli's got a chance to hit that one a long way.
Red Sox on top 2-0 in the 4th inning in Cleveland on opening day. Couldn't get him to chase there. Well, before Knapp took his famous shirtless walk through the back bay after the Duck Boat Parade following the World Series in 2013, he had a really fine year for the Red Sox. 23 homers, 92 runs batted in, and some big hits. Line foul, like his mammoth home run off Verlander in the American League Championship Series. Well, for the Sox, an exciting start. The Bruins are making a push toward the playoffs. Bees with a crucial matchup with the Carolina Hurricanes tonight at 7. Catch all the action right here on NESN. Remember that home run on Verlander? It was the only run of Game 2 of the American League Championship Series. He absolutely killed it. 2-2 inside. So it's a full count with Lindor, the runner, at first base. Big hole on that right side. Price has already walked him once. And now David's 3-2. Got a piece and rattled it right at the feet of John Hirschbeck.
It's a good job by Napoli on a very good pitch hit by Price. A changeup on the 3-2 count. And there you see the grip on the off-speed pitch right there. And then the ball darting down and away from Napoli. And he just barely gets a piece of it to see another pitch. God, you hate that as a pitcher. You make a pitch like that, you get him to chase, and he just fouls it off.
He nudged a seam on the baseball to hang in there. 3-2. Fouled it right there at the plate again. He's barely alive. And back to first goes Lindor. Napoli looks a lot healthier than his waning days with the Red Sox, where he fought that terrible sleep apnea. He had that rather drastic surgery to correct it. Now he can get a good night's sleep. Three-2. Heck of an at bat here by Mike Napoli.
Yeah, it's a good at bat, building up pitches. He's seen 9 already now in this at bat, and that's what you want to do against a guy like Price. You know, make him throw a lot of pitches and try to get him out of the ball game. He saw 6 pitches in his first at bat. He's seen 9 in this at bat.
The guy behind him is very patient too. Price would like to send him back to the dugout for a little rest. Nobody out. And a payoff pitch again. Rattled foul once more. This is quite a battle between these two.
Yeah, you get to wondering, you know, Price has to be saying, what do I throw him? I mean, he's fouled off everything I've got in all kind of different locations.
Red Sox ahead 2-0.
I've always felt in these situations when you see a lot of pitches, you become vulnerable to a pitch inside. That's just how I felt as a hitter.
Let's see if he has the pitch to get him. On the corner, he struck him out, and Napoli's upset. Right on the black, according to John Hirschbeck, for the 7th K today for Price, and he did have the pitch.
Yeah, I got to tell you, you know, if I'm a hitter in that situation like Napoli and the at bat that he put on and to get called out on this pitch, I mean, this is nasty. Just off the outside edge.
Wow.
And called a strike. And, you know, if you're Napoli and you foul off that many pitches, they get called out on a very questionable pitch, you're going to be upset.
11 pitches. And that got him. Strikeout number 7 for the left-hander brings up Santana, and a lob to first. Lindor back. That was some fight.
That was a good battle between those two guys.
He's matched his career high for strikeouts on an opening day. This is his 5th opening day performance. Lindor is still glued to first base, not running. And it's in tight on Santana, who drew ball 4 in the 2nd inning. Switch hitting first baseman from the Dominican Republic. Good power. Sox have yet to turn a double play today, but have only been a handful of base runners. Snuck in for a strike at 87. Santana nodding his head yes at John Hirschbeck.
Tell you one thing, you're not seeing very many pitches down the middle of the plate from David Price at this point. You're seeing a lot of corner pitches. Inside corner, outside corner.
All last year he only walked 47 batters. He made 32 starts between the Tigers and Toronto. And in the games he pitched, his teams went 24-8. Not too shabby. 1-1. 2 balls, 1 strike on Santana. Dave Dombrowski, the Red Sox president of baseball operations, taking a look on opening day. The man who landed David Price. And Craig Kimbrell fouled back 2-2. Don't miss WB Mason Extra Innings Live right after the game. Tom Caron, Dennis Eckersley, and Steve Lyons break it all down. You'll hear from David Price and John Farrell. Whatever, whenever, wherever, who but WB Mason. Nice salute to John Farrell by the Indians today. You know, John had 2 Tommy John surgeries in his career. Dropped a little low for ball 3. Santana 19 home runs. Gomes behind him with 12. There's some sock in this lineup for Cleveland. They're going to hit some home runs. 3-2. Up the middle for a base hit. Lindor into second. He'll stop there. And for the second time in the game, in an inning, the Indians have a pair of base runners.
The last time it happened, it was by a couple of walks, a leadoff walk and a walk to Santana. That was back in the second inning. Then Price got out of that jam. This time it's a couple of base hits. A hit by Lindor. And now Santana going back up the middle for the base hit.
So 2 hits in the inning. Around the strikeout and a long at bat by Napoli brings up Gomes. 0 for 1 with a fly to center field. The Indians' right-hand hitting catcher from Brazil. And John Adams beating the drum as he has for feels like about 40 years here. Two on, 1 out. Up the middle. Pedroia slows it down. It's into center. Here comes Lindor rounding third. He's going to be in to score, and they'll have runners on the corners. That'll make it 2-1 Boston. RBI single for Gomes.
Now Pedroia came very close to knocking that ball down, and if he did, it would have kept the run from scoring. But you can see he's completely stretched out. He does get a piece of the baseball, but it gets by him, and once that happens, that's going to mean a run for the Cleveland Indians. So back-to-back hits up the middle. Santana going up the middle. Gomes going up the middle. And the Indians in business here in the 4th inning, get their first run of the game.
3 singles. Sends up Marlon Byrd, who's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. And Byrd, a free swinger, leans out over that plate. Into the dirt, and a nice stop there by Swihart to keep the runners at first and third.
That's one of the things that Swihart has improved on this spring, and that's softening up his hands to block those balls in the dirt. Getting down on one knee, not trying to catch the ball, just block it, deaden it.
Price has walked 2. He struck out 7 on the day. But in a spot here, hard ground of a foul. A ball and a strike on Byrd, picked up in the middle of spring training. He was an all-star back in 2010. The 1-1. That's a strike on the inside part of the plate.
It actually missed its spot. That ball was supposed to be away, the outside part of the plate on the cut fastball. Instead, it goes inside part of the plate, but still taken by Byrd. Now, watch where Swihart is set up. And that ball was supposed to be away. Instead, it ends up inside, but still effective.
If you're going to miss there. not over the heart of the plate. 1-2 pitch. Flash foul. As Bird hangs in there, Juan Uribe, the on-deck hitter. A run in. Santana at third, Gomes at first base for Cleveland. 2-1 Red Sox. Temperatures in the 30s. Bit of a breeze in from center field. But a sun splash day. The 1-2, and that missed. 2-2. Well, it's been a long inning when you factor in the Napoli at bat, even though that ended in a strikeout. You know, Carl Willis is keeping very close tabs on the ace. And a pitch count here in the fourth. They're making him work. He's thrown 26 in this inning. Little floater toward right down the line, but drifting foul. And they'll do it again on 2-2. Now, the Red Sox have added extended protective netting behind home plate to the dugouts at Fenway this year. You'll notice that when you come to Fenway Park. Major League Baseball has extended netting between the dugouts for all field level seats within 70 feet of home plate. The Indians have done it too. They've gone right to the dugouts to help protect fans. 2-2, a little trickler toward third, foul ball.
Now, this is by far the hardest they have made Price work in this game so far this afternoon. Been a long, tough inning for him. Pitches to Mike Napoli himself in this inning.
And 7 to Marlon Byrd so far. Tying run at third base for the Indians. Price finally says yes. And his 2-2 trying to get Byrd. Fly into left field. Holt is there. The runner back to tag. He makes the catch. Here comes Santana, throw to second base, and this game is tied. So Marlon Byrd with a sacrifice and an RBI.
Well, we talk a lot about situational hitting, and the one thing that you want to avoid in that situation there is a ground ball. It's going to be a double play to get you out of the inning. So Byrd gets something that's elevated. Looked like a breaking ball this time. Maybe a curveball from Price. And you can see that it's high, and that's something that could be lifted in the air by Byrd. And he does a good job of situational hitting, getting that ball deep enough. As you can see right there, not exactly where Price wanted it. He knew on contact that had a chance to be a fly ball and another run.
Gomes holding at first base. Uribe the batter, and he lines a shot into left field for a base hit. Into second base stopping is Gomes. That is 4 hits in the inning for Cleveland against David Price.
They look like a different club this inning against Price, and you know, a lot of strikeouts for David early in this ball game, so it looks like the Indians are being a little bit more aggressive with him right now. Instead of getting the 2 strikes, they're swinging a little bit earlier in the count.
And so Carl Willis out for a mound visit.
There's Uribe picking on the first pitch right here. Cut fastball inside part of the plate, cleans it out. Picks up the base hit, keeps the inning going. So a long, long inning here for Price.
Well, you can get expert emergency care without leaving the ballpark at the Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center. First aid station located at Fenway behind Section 12 on the lower concourse. Visit bidmc.org. First and second for the Tribe. Now to number 9 hitter Cowgill, who's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Right-hand hitter out of Lexington, Kentucky. He was with the Angels last year, batting just 188. Still 2 down. Fouls it away for strike 1. Pitchers allowed to blow on their hand with the cold conditions today while on top of the mound. Price trying to wriggle free from the 4th inning. It's been trouble. And now tie game 2-2. That drifts in for a strike.
Again, mixing in a few more curveballs in this inning. I believe it was a curveball that Bird hit for a sacrifice fly. That looked like a curveball that time, but a much better one. It was down in the zone.
He's got the big 4-seamer. A slider, curveball, cutter, and the changeup. Said a couple of years ago, I still want to strike everybody out. Looking for a K here. And he gets it. So he's out of the inning with his 8th strikeout, but the Indians battle back and tie it 2-2.
Tim just refinanced his car with a DCU Second Chance car loan. He saved so much on his monthly car payment, he could afford the down payment on something a little more fun.
I'll be right back. Be good.
Text Mom. Boys have been really good today. Send. Let's get Mark his own cell phone. Send.
Brad could use a new bike. Send.
Message. You decide. They're your kids.
Why are you guys texting Grandma?
It was him.
Keep your family connected. App Connect on the newly redesigned Passat from Volkswagen.
The Fenway Collection from Benjamin Moore. Visit monstereverywhere.com to find the store nearest you.
Payday never seems to come soon enough. But with direct deposit and free checking from DCU, you can get access to your paycheck 2 days early. Unless, of course, you don't mind waiting.
For every Red Sox hit this month, Echo Store Technologies is donating $50 to the Greg Hill Foundation. Echo Store and the Greg Hill Foundation responding immediately to improve the lives of local families touched by tragedy. Echo Store Technologies is your data center solutions provider. Well, the Indians have tied things up here. Big 4th inning off of David Price as they put up 4 singles. There was a sacrifice fly in there. Price did strike out 2 batters, so he has 8 in the game. But it's a new contest, 2-2 as we go to the 5th inning. And Mookie Betts, responsible for the 2 Red Sox runs on this chilly day, with a 2-run homer in the 3rd, will lead things off. Mookie now in his 2nd full season in the majors, still only 23 years old. So it's the top of the order. It's the 3rd time around for the Red Sox against Kluber. Pedroia and then Bogarts to follow. And a breaking ball in for strike 1.
Now back in the 3rd inning, you see that pitch that's got to stay inside part of the plate, and that's the first home run of the season for Mookie Betts, the 2-run shot. With that time, give the Red Sox a 2-0 lead.
Mookie scoring 92 runs last year that led the team. So did his 42 doubles. Kluber's 1-1 on the edge.
Very generous today on that outside part of the plate for the pitchers.
Hirschbeck has always been known as a pitcher's umpire. He wants the game to move along. Shot to right and a base hit. He muscles it through, and it's the 2nd hit today for Mookie. He's 2 for 3. And a good start to the 5th inning. Well, it's official. The 2016 Red Sox season is underway a day late. Be sure to download the Red Sox schedule directly into your favorite desktop, web, or mobile calendar program. Just visit NESN.com/schedule and download today.
Right here, Dave, I like to see the Red Sox put some pressure on this Indian ball club. And Kluber, you know, you got speed at first base. You got a couple of options, a straight out steal. You got a hit and run option with Pedroia, who doesn't do it very much. I'd have liked to go with a straight-out steal.
Mookie had 21 last year, holding initially, and that's strike one on Pedroia, who's gone 0 for 2 today.
You can see there that Kluber is not real quick to home plate. He's got a fairly high leg kick, which is very inviting for a base stealer. Last year he allowed 16 steals on the season.
We're tied up 2-2 in the 5th inning at Progressive Field. The 0-1. Got a piece of it. Pedroia with a big season opener last year at Philadelphia. 3 for 5 with 2 solo home runs. But he also had 2 stints on the DL with that hamstring injury. He only played in 93 games. On his 10th full season. And a hugely important one for Pedroia and a return to good health. A 4-time All-Star. 0-2 breaking ball hammered towards short. Lindor goes into second, got the out onto first, and not in time. They do retire Mookie at second base, but Pedroia beats the rap at first.
Now Lindor had to go a couple of steps to his right, and that's going to be the difference on the double play or no double play at first base. You see the location of this ground ball by Pedroia. It's a breaking ball, 2 or 3 steps to his right. They do it very quickly around the bag, he and Kipnis, but not in time to get Pedroia hustling all the way down that first base line. See Kipnis backing off the bag. Sometimes when you back off the bag like that, you don't get as much on your throw to first base as you do coming across the bag.
It was not an issue on that play, but Major League Baseball has banned rolling block slides to break up potential double plays. Runner has to make a bona fide slide. That's defined as making contact with the ground ahead of the base and in a position to reach the base with a hand or a foot. Xander looks at ball 1. He's gone 0 for 2 today. They're hoping to prevent a repeat of that takeout by Chase Utley of the Dodgers that broke the leg of the Mets shortstop Tejada last year in the playoffs. That was gruesome.
Yes, it was. And, you know, I still like to see some type of play here by the Red Sox. You get that man at first base. Bogaerts can move the ball to right field.
Kluber's 1-0 pitch will not be made.
How about that throw to first base? He kind of drops down to the side. A sidearm throw to first base.
He did. Submarined it.
Another set of signs being put down by Butterfield right now after the long look down by Bogaerts.
Xander, another guy, you wonder, will he be looking to drive the ball more this year? 7 home runs last year. Shot into left field, but Bird will backing up, and makes the catch. Boy, nearly misplayed that. Pedroia had gone all the way down to second base. He has to retreat to first. Bird able to make the grab on the track, but almost over his head.
Yeah, there's no question, Dave, that he got fooled on contact there. He didn't think the ball was hit as hard as it was by Bogaerts. And he kind of froze for a second, and he is just barely able to get back and make that play on a ball that I thought on contact was going to be a routine out.
So did he. So 2 down. Pedroia at first base for David Ortiz. David doubled his last time up.
They're going to appeal at second base
to see if he touched, and he did, because he had gone all the way to the bag, and you have to retouch and retreat to first base, and Pedroia did. Standing there with old teammate, World Series champion Mike Napoli. So 2 down. We're tied 2-2 here in the 5th inning. Inside on Big Papi. David making his 12th opening day start for the Red Sox, and his last. You said David was deeply touched by the ovations in Montreal the other day. He didn't expect that. That's into the dirt, blocked by Gomes, no advance.
Yeah, every time he popped out of the dugout for an at-bat or coming off the field at the end of the second game after getting a double, it was a standing ovation for Ortiz, the tip of the cap. I think he was Taken back a little bit by that from the fans up in Montreal. Most of them Toronto Blue Jay fans.
I think he's going to have to get used to it. That and about 14 rocking chairs. The 2-0. Foul tip to the mid.
He had his mind made up there, didn't he? 2-ball, no strike count. He was looking fastball. He got one, but it was down in the zone. He was trying to drive the ball there on that 2-0 fastball count.
Dustin Pedroia leading at first base. We had 2 men out. And a former Cy Young winner, Kluber. Supposed to be a breaking ball. Now 3-1. So David has the count his way.
And again, here's where Ortiz has to discipline himself. Look for something middle in, something he can drive out of the ballpark.
Has done that twice in his career against Cory Kluber. A pair of home runs. Trickle foul, and Ortiz not pleased with that swing.
Got himself a fastball, but not a real good one. It was down low. And again, he was a little bit out in front of that and just taps it foul. Sitting on that fastball middle in, but you can see that it's down below and out of the strike zone. So not the ideal pitch on the 3-1 count.
Hanley would be next. Sox have out hit the Indians 6-4. Pedroia off to the races on the 3-2 and again fouled at home plate. Sox fans looking for the best seats to the biggest games. Check out the official Red Sox ticket resale marketplace at RedSoxReplay.com. This is the place to go, the best place for tickets and for season ticket holders to sell their seats when they can't make it to the game. Again, with 2 down and a full count, Pedroia will be running with the pitch. And there he goes. High fly ball into right field. Cowgill back, looking into the sun on the track, and makes the catch. Ortiz just missed one. Just underneath it. Middle of the 5th inning, still tied 2-2.
This Toyota certified used vehicle has passed its 160-point inspection. And behind every Toyota certified used vehicle is a factory-backed 1-year, 12,000-mile warranty, a factory-backed 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, plus 1 year of roadside assistance. Toyota certified used vehicles. The factory has your back. Now get 1.9 for 60 on many popular Toyota certified used vehicles. The best new cars make the best used cars.
500, the big 500. Looks good in races and home run records. But it looks even better coming back at you. Play up to 500 on us at Plainridge Park. For a limited time, you can sign up for a new marquee rewards card and get back up to $500. It's the rewards card for winning. Play up to 500 on us. Only at Plainridge Park Casino, the official sponsor of winning.
If you treated your tablet like greasy fast food treats your body, you'd have no way to watch cat videos. So say no to greasy fast food and treat your body right with the delicious rotisserie-style chicken sandwich from Subway. Made with our new hand-pulled all-white meat chicken raised without antibiotics. All on our freshly baked bread. The Subway Sandwich Shop. Fresh is what we do.
Friday, a new season of Red Sox baseball has begun. Renewed hope. With new leadership paving the way and old friends bidding farewell. And when the Sox battle the defending division champion Blue Jays with young talent ready to break through and a new ace up their sleeve, you'll remember where you saw it first. Red Sox, Blue Jays. Series coverage begins Friday at 6 on NESN, presented by Coors Light.
We're to the halfway point here on opening day, slightly delayed by about 23 hours, but Red Sox and the Indians tied up 2-2. That's Rajai Davis with a big cut and a miss. David Price has recorded 8 strikeouts on the day. He's allowed 4 hits, and all of them came last inning. 4 singles by Cleveland, and they tied the game. So Davis, the leadoff man, he's 0 for 2. He has struck out twice. And Kipnis and Lindor for Cleveland. And we'll see if Price bounces back here. It was a very long inning. He pitched 33 pitches in the 4th, Jerry.
Now, still pretty decent, though. 81 pitches on the game for him, and, a couple of 1, 2, 3 innings for him, and he'll be in good shape.
Well, the top 3 hitters in their order have combined to go 1 for 6 on the afternoon. Three balls and 1 strike. Why did I wake up this morning humming One Shining Moment? What a basketball game that was last night. 3-1 line into right, driving back Betts. Mookie leaps. Oh, he makes the play. He hauled it in. That's probably a triple if it gets over his head, because Davis can really haul, and Mookie makes a tremendous play.
Yeah, and that ball was hit so hard that Betts did not have time to really react to it. Look at the leap that he makes, the athletic play going up, snagging the ball on the way down, and saving 3 bases, and Price loves it.
Look at that smile.
I mean, that is a super athletic play by Mookie Betts in right field. He was actually, in my opinion, starting to come down off his leap when he made that catch.
Here's Kipnis taking a strike. I thought it was dead and gone. That's an extra base hit.
Yep.
That ball is heading for the wall. He has to go chase it now. What a play by Mookie. Tapped to first base, and Hanley with a chance right to the bag for the out. 2 up and 2 down.
You talk about the defense, OB, in the Red Sox outfield, and between Bradley and Betts, plenty of speed to cover a lot of ground in those 2 areas, and especially when you get back home at the very large Fenway Park right field. Betts has got that kind of speed and coverage to be able to handle that. We know what Bradley can do in center field. Spectacular. And of course, Holt hopefully will give you a solid job in left along with Young.
Lindor 1 for 2 with a single. So 2 men out. Fans, stay tuned following this half inning for stats, facts, and fantasy numbers from around Major League Baseball. Could wind up being a giant play today. Lined into left field, and there's one reason why, as Holt will scoop it up. And Lindor has his 2nd hit. He's gone 2 for 3.
Has had a nice afternoon. A couple of hits, back-to-back hits after grounding out in his first at bat, and Lindor a threat to steal, but with Napoli at the plate, sometimes you don't want to go and give Napoli a chance to hit a home run. But Lindor, if he can get a jump, maybe a chance he'll go here with 2 outs, to try to get in scoring position.
Now the ever-patient Mike Napoli, who walked in the 2nd inning and had an 11-pitch at bat in the 4th inning before he was called out on a 3rd strike. He looks at strike 1.
And he can't be happy with that pitch either. That's very similar to the one that he got called out on last time.
Napoli's not a big complainer, although he can make his opinion known. 2 down. Well, he took a home run swing.
And that's where he's vulnerable, up there. That high fastball that's at the top of the zone or up and out of the zone. And we'll see if they follow up with a higher fastball this time.
See, I thought when he was with Texas and when he was with the Sox in 13, you didn't want to go there.
Yeah.
Because he could really kill you there. And often did. 0-2 pitch in there for strike 3, right on the black edge. He'll complain again. What a play by Betts. Turns out to be a big one. We're tied 2-2.
In baseball, there's no game clock, no quarters, no halftime, no 2-minute warning. Yet time, in its own way, runs right through its very soul. Time is how we mark triumphs, legacies, moments. For some, time is limited, or worse, robbed. For others, it feels endless, like it's just begun. Some see time as an opportunity, waiting to be seized. Others see it as an annoyance, another damn obstacle in the way. While the best simply defy it. Time can start fresh. Time can preserve. Time can stand still. Or really fly. Now is the time to turn question marks into declarations. What ifs into why nots. A roster into a team. Set your clocks.
Time now for the Geico Red Sox moment honoring the 1986 Red Sox season. And on opening day in 86, the Sox lost to the Tigers 6-5. Kirk Gibson hit 2 home runs and he knocked in 5 for Detroit. Red Sox actually hit 4 home runs off of the Tigers starter Jack Morris, but Detroit held on to win the game. Kirk Gibson was one of those guys his own teammates were scared to death.
Yeah, he was. Try being a second baseman when he was coming in to break up a double play.
Yeah.
You could hear him coming.
I'll bet. He was a former wide receiver at Michigan State. He could have played professional football. That's how good he was. Mike Napoli still a little disturbed by the strike zone of John Hirschbeck. They had a long conversation after the inning ended about that strike on the outside corner, which is now 9 Ks for Price. And we're still tied as we go to the 6th, 2-2. Jerry Remy, Dave O'Brien, and Garrett Austin with you for opening day as Hanley Ramirez backs away from ball 1. Hanley, a quiet day so far. He has struck out looking and also grounded out to second against Kluber. Travis Shaw, Brock Holt to follow.
That's one of those rare close pitches that was not called a strike by Hirschbeck.
Kluber, the 2014 Cy Young Award winner. Ground ball up the middle, and it's going to get through. The dive by Lindor, but he couldn't get to it. And Hanley has his first hit of 2016. Today's suits are designed by Joseph Abboud, custom made in the United States of America of fine Italian fabrics and available at Men's Warehouse. Jerry, you look like $1 million.
Let me tell you something, Dave. Both of us have the exact same suits on that we had on yesterday because we never reached air. So instead of wasting one, we get to use it a second day.
Well, the great thing about these suits is you can wear them more than once.
Oh, yeah. Terrific.
Great stuff. You look marvelous as Travis Shaw gets in. He is singled and struck out looking. I meant to ask you, by the way, because you look like you're in fantastic shape this season. You look like you've lost a little weight. What are you doing?
I've lost 20 pounds since November.
20 pounds?
20 pounds, and
wow.
That was strictly by eating half portions of food. That's it. That was the diet. Eat what I want, but eat half.
Down into the dirt. No more complicated than just half.
No, I went to the doctor in November. I weighed myself. I said, this is getting to be too much. And I said, what am I going to do? I didn't know any fat diets. I didn't want to go on stuff like that. So I said, it makes sense if eating half the calories, you're going to lose weight. And that's exactly what I did. And I've dropped 20 since November.
Makes a lot of sense because I'm not losing anything. I'm on the 2/3. It ain't doing anything for me. 1-1. Golfed into right field for a base hit. Cut off by Cowgill. Hanley taking the turn. He's trying for third. The throw and not going to get him. Some daring base running by Hanley Ramirez, and the Red Sox are in business. First and third and nobody out.
Yeah, I think Hanley made that decision on his own right there because that was a little bit of a risky move. You've got nobody out in the inning, and the last thing you want to do is make that first out at third base. Now, there's that ball hit. Hanley, I think, was taking a peek himself and made that decision on his own to go to third base. Fortunately, the throw was a little bit toward home plate, and Ramirez gets in safely.
So the Red Sox put up hits number 7 and 8 on the day. That look toward Brian Butterfield indicates, I know I got away with something.
Yeah, and let's see if Hanley takes a look at third base. No, he's looking at himself. He's looking himself to the outfield, and he made that decision by himself.
I think if Butterfield had anything to do with it, he probably would have held him up because that ball is a rocket. Let's see what Butterfield's doing. See, he's not giving him any sign at all. Now he's giving him the sign to slide. But I don't think Butterfield expected him to go to third base on that.
I agree. We'll see how it works out. Nobody out. And Brock Holt, the batter. Hanley now safely at third. Travis Shaw has his second hit today. He's 2 for 3 with a pair of singles. And Brock Holt's so good in situations like this, where you can drive in that run from third. Last year, so effective, and he will take a strike, and that was well off the plate. Brock with a base hit in the second. He has also struck out. Starting games last year at every position except pitcher and catcher, and opening up in left field today. Oh, 2 activity in the bullpen. Manship and Detweiler, the right-hander and the left-hander. 86 pitches for Kluber. 2 former Cy Youngs going toe-to-toe today. We're tied 2-2, but the Sox have 2 on. Breaking ball, it just missed. Big groan from the crowd here in Cleveland, but off the corner.
Yeah, not quite the snap on it to come back and pick up the outside corner. Just staying a little bit outside. Good eye by Brock Holt, but always dangerous with Hirschbeck behind the plate, taking anything close.
Sox trying to get back in the lead here in the 6th inning. And the 1-2. Over but low. Blake Swihart on deck, and then Jackie Bradley Jr. Nobody out.
Now with nobody out here, and if you're Hanley Ramirez to third base on a ground ball to first, to the pitcher or to third, you've got to go because you don't want a double play in this situation. In other words, you have to make him throw. You'd rather have first and second with 1 out than have the man stay at third base and have 2 outs in the inning.
Here's the 2-2 to Brock. Little floater toward left. That's going to drop down for a base hit. Hanley is in to score, and the Red Sox have the lead again, 3-2. He's just so tough at spots like that.
Well, you could clearly see that Holt had cut down on his swing on that particular pitch there, just trying to make contact. I mean, you know, in that situation, if you're a hitter, if you just make contact, you got a chance to score a run, and that's nasty, that pitch. That ball's down and away. That's a good pitch by Kluber. Look how he has to reach and just kind of slap the ball to the opposite field. Hanley goes back to tag up. Ball's going to drop in. Now he knows he can go, and the Red Sox take the 3-2 lead.
Off the very end of the bat, just enough to knock it into left field. That's 3 consecutive Red Sox hits.
Indians playing in on the corners, expecting a possible bunt here from Swihart.
Blake has struck out and walked today. Still nobody out, 2 on. 3-2 Boston. High chop on the infield. The first baseman goes to second with the throw, and in time to get him. Travis Shaw down to third base. Swihart becomes the runner at first. 1 down and 2 on.
Very close play at second base. Holt, I thought, had beat it from looking at it from here, but apparently not. No argument at all from Brock Holt. Little tap by Swihart and a heads-up play by Napoli. Very good first baseman. But to me, and originally looking at that, it looked like he had beat it.
They get the force out. Kind of a delayed call there by Vic Carapazza.
He was getting a good look at it, wasn't he?
He really did. And that'll send up Jackie Bradley with 1 man out. Jackie has singled, and he's also grounded out to second today. 3-2 Red Sox in the 6th. And a strike. The 0-1. Bounce it up there. It's going to get by the catcher. And Shaw is in to score. Down to second base is Swihart. And on the wild pitch, the Red Sox add another run now, 4-2.
What a gift that is, and especially from a guy with great control like Kluber has. He bounces that, and not much Gomes could do about this. You know, he'll go down and try to block it, but it just takes a bad hop on him. It kicks back to his left. And once he makes contact with his body, deflects toward the dugout, and a gift run for the Red Sox. So back to a 2-run advantage.
That does not happen every day when Cory Kluber's on the mound. With his command, you called it a gift. You're absolutely right. So Bradley trying to pick up the 5th Red Sox run. Jackie will turn 26 on the 19th of April. Few doubt that if he hits at the major league level, he is a Gold Glove outfielder.
Oh, without question. You've got some very good outfielders. Pilar, Kiermaier, Bradley, a lot of good out center fielders in the American League.
And Trout Kid's pretty good.
Yeah, he's not bad either. He's not bad.
Only one out, a man at second. Tried to check, did he? They appeal, and he did check, according to Rayburn. 2-2.
Take a look from the side. I think a good call.
Jackie likes the daytime. He hit .326 in day games last year. Three and 2.
Notice everything has been up to Bradley. Everything has been away from him and up in this particular at bat. Of course, the exception of the ball that bounced in the dirt.
Bullpen continues to work for Cleveland. Red Sox have a 4-2 lead. And up high for ball 4. So the Red Sox will put runners at first and second. And here comes Terry Francona with Mookie Betts coming up next. Mookie's working on a great day with a home run, a single, and an acrobatic catch in right field. So that'll do it. Kluber is done. That means the Indians blink first today. Here in the 6th inning on opening day, the Red Sox lead it 4-2. We'll have more in just a moment.
This is David Price of the Boston Red Sox. And this is Astro, his dog. When your best buddy is a Cy Young winning all-star heat throwing lefty.
Ready? Go get it.
And you're a 9-year-old 30-pound French bulldog. At a certain point, you got to put your paw down, because maybe catch is not our game. Maybe you just want to snuggle, you know?
First at the ballpark. First word on the game. It all starts with Red Sox First Pitch Live on NESN, presented by Joseph Abboud. Available at Men's Warehouse.
How do we make a great suit? We start with the finest Italian fabrics. Then it's built by the finest craftsmen in the world, right here in America. I'm Joseph Abboud. This is my signature suit, designed for Men's Warehouse.
That HP Color LaserJet printer has saved us a bundle.
It's just so tiny, and it looks so cute on my desk.
When I told my boss that it's 40% faster than our old printer, its Jet Intelligence toner cartridges print a third more pages, and WB Mason would deliver next day for free, he promoted me.
Must be some printer. Third party this week. Who but WB Mason, an HP preferred partner.
Red Sox baseball on NESN is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Jerry's going to be stopping by tomorrow for a couple hours.
Actually, today was the day we were supposed to do that, but we got a baseball game to play.
Well, this is a lot more fun. Red Sox with the lead, and Cory Kluber responsible for runners at first and second. He's out after 90 pitches, giving up 9 hits. Red Sox had some very good swings, very good at bats against him. So he will give way to Jeff Manship. Last year, appearing in 32 games, he was very tough with an ERA under 1.
Yeah, Manship, you see the numbers for him. 1-0 with an 0.92 ERA. 33 strikeouts and 39 in the third innings. Opponents hitting way under 200 against Manship. One of those really breakout seasons for him coming out of the bullpen for the Indians.
He's also pitched for the Phillies and for Minnesota. Mookie Betts will climb in, working, as we said, on a big day. Remember the day he had at Fenway in a home opener last year where he was Superman offensively and defensively, and he's repeating that here today, crushing a 2-run homer in the third inning. Single in the fifth, and the Sox pressing the matter now. The runners at first and second and one man out. Over but low for ball one. I mentioned this at the top of the broadcast with a couple of men on base here. Red Sox did pretty darn well against Cy Young winners last year. They went 9-6, and they got to Kluber today. Hammered but foul.
A couple of highlights on the day for Mookie Betts. He has been a star today. That 2-run home run back in the third inning, and a tremendous defensive play on a line drive. You can see how shallow he's playing. He leaps, starts to come down, and takes 3 bases away right there.
A decent speed on the bases with Swihart at second base and Bradley at first. We're in the top of the 6th inning. 2 runs in this frame. Stopped by Gomes. Red Sox determined to get back to postseason relevancy after a last place finish, the 2nd year in a row in 2015. John Farrell back managing the ball club after his own personal fight, of course, with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, now in remission. Fastball drilled in there, 2-2.
Not an overpowering fastball, 89, but very good at spotting balls inside, outside.
6'2" right-hander from San Antonio, Texas. Dustin Pedroia on deck. Another good at bat here for Mookie. 3-2.
See if the Red Sox start the runners. That would be interesting here on the 3-2 count with 1 out. It's likely, though, you're going to double up Mookie on a ground ball to the infield, but they may get him going.
Mookie was the hardest man in the majors to double up last year. He hit into 2 double plays all season. 3-2 runners do go, and that's hammered at third base. Scooped up the throw across the diamond. Will he get him? Indeed. Uribe with an outstanding play. He's always been very good defensively. That retires the side, but the Sox lead 4-2.
The Toyota Sienna is the only vehicle in its class with available all-wheel drive. So, in an independent AMCI traction test, it wasn't surprising that an all-wheel drive Sienna conquered a snow-covered 25% grade hill, while the front-wheel drive Honda Odyssey and Chrysler Town & Country failed dismally. The all-wheel drive Sienna, ready for winter, ready for your family now. Class dismissed. Toyota, let's go places.
Watch me now, 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 watch me now.
Get ready to play. Buy an LG G5 and get a second battery and charging cradle free.
There are 2 camps of DQ S'mores Blizzard lovers, Camp S'mores and the new Camp Oreo S'mores. Camp S'mores, Camp Oreo S'mores, Camp S'mores, Camp Oreo S'mores, Camp S'mores, Camp Oreo S'mores. A camp for the traditionalist and a camp for the adventurous. Which s'mores camp will you be in? Try the s'mores and new Oreo S'mores Blizzard treat today. This is fan food, not fast food.
Put more fun in your day with ice cream flavored coffees at Dunkin' Donuts. Go for delicious flavors like butter pecan, cookie dough, or new pistachio. Enjoy one today. America runs on Dunkin'.
Clean up at Cricket Wireless. Switch and get select 4G LTE smartphones for as low as $19.99. Plus, no annual contracts. New phone smell. Cricket Wireless. Something to smile about.
Bottom of the 6th inning, 4-2 Red Sox have the lead. The Red Sox do elect to send the runners with Betts to plate. Now watch the third baseman, Uribe. He takes a couple of steps in toward third, and maybe because they sent the runners that time, it cost them a double play. If Uribe been in his normal position, that ball might have got by him, and it might have been another run for the Red Sox. But I did expect him to run. Unfortunately, it took Uribe to the bag, and they were able to get the double play.
You're right, and Mookie Betts has hit into already half as many double plays as he did all last year. Is Santana taking a strike? We're on the way to the last half of the 6th inning. The Red Sox ahead 4-2. And those of you just joining us, maybe some kids out of school, it is opening day slightly delayed by about 1 day, and temperatures here are in the 30s this afternoon. It is windy but sunny. And so this game began on time at 1:10 this afternoon in Cleveland. In there for a strike on Santana, who has walked and singled. He has scored one of the 2 runs that came in the 4th inning of David Price. Price has allowed 5 hits. He has struck out 9. In his Red Sox debut, highly anticipated, to put it mildly. Man who won the Cy Young in 2012, won 18 games last year, and now with the Red Sox and looking for his 10th K. And that just missed. Santana is their DH. He would prefer to play first base, but Mike Napoli is a better defender. Santana grew up one of 8 children in the Dominican Republic, so he is used to sharing. To third base, down to Scoop Shaw, tested for the first time, and guns on accurately for the out. 34 degrees right now. We say hello to the DD Perks loyalty program. It's how Dunkin' Donuts shows big-time appreciation to its loyal fans with great offers and perks like a free beverage when you join and another on your birthday. Enroll today at ddperks.com or the Dunkin' mobile app. The Red Sox run on Dunkin'. Everybody bundled up. 34, but it says it feels like 25 with the wind chill. Here's Yan Gomes as he takes ball 1. It's not getting any warmer, Jerry Remy.
No, and it's supposed to dip to the 20s.
Shortstop Bogarts waits on that, slings it, and there are 2 down.
Xander almost got trapped that time, staying back on a ground ball. Fortunately, he had a guy going down the first base line that did not run very well. But Bogarts, you can see him shaking his head. He got kind of flat-footed on this one. Instead of continuing to charge the ball, he just stayed back and almost let the ball play him, and then had to quickly get the release to first base to get the out.
But always with a smile.
He knows he got away with one.
2 down. Marlon Byrd up now. He's driven in a run with a sac fly and struck out. You spent some time in Aruba on vacation.
Yes.
And I know he has been knighted in Aruba, and he's very proud of that. But is there a statue down there of Xander?
There's not a statue, but there is a plaque that they have put up in the not the downtown area, but down around where all the hotels are around that stretch. Anybody that's been in Aruba knows the area I'm talking about. But they love Bogarts down there, man. He can't do anything wrong.
He's a superstar.
Yeah, he really is.
Get a chance to become one with the Red Sox too. That's down and in for a ball, coming off a .320 season, number 2 in the American League. Only Miguel Cabrera had a higher batting average. Just 23. Price looking for a quick inning. That's flicked foul on a play. Marlon Byrd for a time with the Red Sox 4 years ago, played in 34 games. He grew up in Atlanta, and Hall of Famer Hank Aaron of the Braves was a family friend. Hey, Mom, who's coming to dinner? Nobody.
Guy hits a couple of home runs once in a while.
Yeah, baseball legend, all-time home run king, enshrined in Cooperstown, immortal home run hitter. Nobody special. Bases clean, 2 down. Price looking for his 10th K. Grounded foul down the line.
So that 4th inning, 33 pitches for David Price. That was the inning where they did get the 2 runs against Price. Some base hits in there, long at bats.
Well, no activity in the Sox pen. Waved at and missed down into the dirt. Swihart will have to gather and gun, and he does. And here's strikeout number 10 for the new Red Sox ace, who leads it 4-2.
What does a guy like me enjoy more than juicy beef, butter, and tender steak? This price. The new buttery steak burger, only $1.99. Checkers and rallies. Fast foodies know the deal.
Allergy medicine not working? Try Nasacort for effective relief. It relieves the worst nasal allergy symptoms, even congestion. It's non-addictive, scent and alcohol-free, and has no harsh taste. For 24-hour allergy relief, Nasacort.
This Saturday.
This is Dining Playbook.
We're going to take folks to a lot of the places that we think are cool. Your life is in my hands. So what am I doing?
We'll cook with your favorite athletes. This is Kelly Olynyk. I'm here with defenseman of the Boston Bruins, Adam McQuaid.
It was a lot of fun.
And make sure you know where they like to dine.
I need to know your guilty pleasure. Join us.
At the intersection where sports and dining meet.
What's the name of the show?
Dining Playbook. All new this Saturday at 9 on Nessun. No one knows the Sox better than its former players and Hall of Famers.
You were one of the handful of greats.
Pre-game access, analysis, and info before every game on Nessun.
There you go. There it is.
Red Sox Game Day Live, presented by DCU, Digital Federal Credit Union.
Tim just refinanced his car with a DCU Second Chance car loan. He saved so much on his monthly car payment, he could afford the down payment on something a little more fun.
Alexis is making a pledge to strike out hunger. For every strikeout by a Sox pitcher this season, Alexis donates $50 to the Greater Boston Food Bank. David Price certainly looks like he is finished up as we go to the 7th inning. Red Sox on top 4-2, and he struck out 10, Jerry.
Well, great start for Price. The 10 strikeouts, 103 pitches. That's why you see that he's going to be done. And you know, he had that one very difficult inning back in the 4th inning where he threw a lot of pitches in that inning and picked up a couple of runs against them. But other than that, it was an outstanding effort and just what the Red Sox had hoped for from David Price.
Junichi Tozawa warming in the bullpen as Pedroia checks. It's outside. Petey is 0 for 3 today. Bogarts and Ortiz will follow him. All smiles. That's the 30th time in David Price's career he has struck out 10 or more in a game. And he does it in his Red Sox debut, and that one line foul past first base.
First time a Red Sox starter has struck out 10 in a game since '09. Josh Beckett did it. Opening day starter for the Red Sox.
Well, he delivered what was expected, didn't he?
He certainly did. And we mentioned how calm and he's been for the last couple of days. He's had to sleep on it again last night, opening day, but it didn't bother him one bit.
The 2-2. He lunged at that, popped it up. Room for Napoli. And makes the grab in foul territory. So Pedroia 0 for 4. Stay tuned for the Red Sox final presented by Plainridge Park Casino. Tom Caron, Dennis Eckersley, and Steve Lyons will preview Clay Buchholz's start on Wednesday against the Indians. They'll analyze the new rule changes in Major League Baseball as well. Among those, the neighborhood play is no more. The fielder has to touch the base to record an out. Icon plays at second base. Here's Xander, 0 for 3.
That's the play, Dave, for years at second base, where it was kind of to protect the middle infield of second baseman, shortstop, where they'd give you a little leeway of coming off the bag to make a double play. And, if you got to do it too much, they would warn you, give me a little better effort next time. But now that they have this new rule with the slides, the second baseman, shortstop have to stay on the bag. So
0-2, chopped to third base. Uribe, very sure-handed. Not a good throw, though, and it's underneath Napoli. That one ate him up. And it skipped out of the field of play, and so Xander will head on down to second base on the throwing mistake by Uribe.
Well, he just short-armed that ball to first base. I mean, it looked like it was going to be just a routine out, and then the throw looked awfully weird from Uribe down at third base. See how he kind of just short-arms it. And that ball just bounces, eats up Napoli, gets underneath the glove. You expect it to bounce high. It stayed down. It goes out of play, and Bogaerts ends up at second base.
So a break for the Sox. David Ortiz, they'll take the bat out of his hands and walk him here. So for the first time in 2016, he'll be intentionally walked by old pal Terry Francona. Andy Ramirez will be next. More activity in the bullpen. Jabba Chamberlain along with Detweiler, who continues to throw. So this will be an intentional walk of David. That'll put runners at first and second with one down. Andy Ramirez with a single his last time up, and he scored a run when the Red Sox broke the tie with 2 runs in the 6th inning and would force the exit of Cory Kluber. Tito has seen David Ortiz do far too much damage in his career to even flirt with the idea.
Yeah, first base open, set up the possibility of a inning-ending double play here with Ramirez coming up against the right-hander, but not going to give David a chance to beat him in that situation.
Andy Ramirez 1 for 3. Sox trying to add on here, and Boston about to go to the bullpen because David Price is done for the day, with Tazawa warming in the pen. 1 man out. Bogaerts at second, Ortiz at first. And in for strike 1. John Farrell has talked about managing with urgency in 2016. Andy Ramirez was running around the bases with urgency in the 6th inning. Very daring base running play to go first to third, and that one will miss for a ball, and it's 1-1.
Yeah, that was Hanley being Hanley there, because there was no help at all from a third base coach. He wasn't even looking at Butterfield on that. He was making a decision on his own, and fortunately it worked out okay for him.
This guy has been an awfully good hitter. He's won a batting title. We didn't see the best of him last year. Certainly not after the month of April. I thought, frankly, Jerry, he really got home run happy. He got pull happy.
I couldn't agree more. I could not agree more, OB. He hit so many home runs early. He felt like he was probably going to hit 40 on the season. His swing drastically changed. He hurt his shoulder and was not healthy, really, the rest of the season.
Yeah, he slammed into the wall. But he's always been a line drive guy as he checks. He's been more of a doubles hitter in his career than a home run guy.
I mean, you watch him take batting practice. Now, he got a bit ridiculous at the end of last year. All he was trying to do was hit the ball 900 feet during batting practice. And I watched him this spring, day in and day out. And he worked on moving the ball to the opposite field. I mean, he looked like the Hanley Ramirez that you remember from the National League.
Good hitters count. 3 balls, 1 strike. 1 out, 2 on. Red Sox ahead 4-2. And Manship with the 3-1. And he would chase, and the bases are loaded. And they are loaded for Travis Shaw. Time for a game break. Oh, we'll get to that in just a moment, because here comes Terry Francona. He's going to make a pitching change with the left-hand hitter coming up. And all loaded up. And what a moment this could be for Travis Shaw, the Ohio kid. Well, time for a game break, brought to you by Jordan's, the furniture store of the Boston Red Sox. We toss it back to the studio. Here's TC.
Well, they waited an extra day in New York to get opening day in. Astros taking on the Yankees at last, and the Yankees getting on the board. Starlin Castro off Dallas Keuchel drives in a couple of runs. That's a 2-1 lead for the Yankees, but it's now 2-2. Tanaka done for the Yankees. Keuchel still going. We'll keep you updated in the postgame show. Back to Obi and the Rem Dog after this.
I think we should have taken a left at the river.
Tarzan, no. Where Tarzan go?
Tarzan does not know where Tarzan go. Hey, excuse me. Do you know where the waterfall is? Waterfall?
No. Me, Tarzan. King of jungle.
I know you wanted to.
If you're a couple, you fight over directions. It's what you do. If you want to save 15% or more on car insurance, you switch to Geico. It's what you do.
You have to do that right in my ear.
Introducing a whole new way to win at Foxwoods. Fox Perks. Now, 1,000 times a day, one randomly chosen Foxwoods Rewards Club member wins an extra $500 to $500 cash or gift cards for meals, hotel rooms, shows, or other perks throughout the resort just for playing their favorite machine. So don't just sit there, sit here, where any minute of every day could be your minute to win. Fox Perks. It's a whole new way to win, and it's only at Foxwoods Resort Casino. The wonder of it all.
There are two camps of DQ S'mores Blizzard lovers, Camp S'mores and the new Camp Oreo S'mores. Camp S'mores, Camp Oreo S'mores. Camp S'mores, Camp Oreo S'mores. Camp S'mores, Camp Oreo S'mores. A camp for the traditionalist and a camp for the adventurous. Which s'mores camp will you be in? Try the s'mores and new Oreo S'mores Blizzard treat today. This is fan food, not fast food.
Tonight, after Bruins coverage on NESN Sports Today, we recap all of today's opening day festivities. Reaction from the Bruins as they face off against the Carolina Hurricanes tonight. NESN Sports Today, presented by People's United Bank. See what know-how can do. Well, the bases are loaded. The Red Sox can break this open, leading 4-2 here in the 7th inning. Travis Shaw, the batter. Ross Detweiler, who had all sorts of issues last season with Texas and Atlanta, trying to keep the lid on it. And the infield creeping in now for Cleveland. Shaw already with 2 hits today. And hammers that one foul for strike one.
Yeah, let me explain the infield positioning right now. What the position that the second baseman and shortstop are in, if there's a ball hit hard at them, they will go for a double play. If it is not hit hard where they think they can get it a play, then they'll come home to get the force out at home plate. So 2 options from that position in the infield.
Tito bringing in a lefty. Shaw kind of feasted on them last year. 329 with 6 home runs. And no place to put him. Look at that ERA, 7.25, and control issues as well for Detweiler. A lot of walks as you look at the numbers against Southpaws for Travis. He really hangs in there against them. One ball and 2 strikes, 1 out. Bases are loaded with Bogarts at third, David Ortiz at second, and Hanley Ramirez, who just took a walk, on at first. Bogarts reached on an error, and Ortiz was intentionally passed. So trouble for Cleveland. Here's the 1-2. On the corner, and he got him. And again, that generous plate. Shaw barks about that. Hirschbeck has had that same plate all day.
Boy, he has, and this one way outside. I mean, this is not even close to being a strike. Now, I know pitchers love to get that, but that ball quite a bit outside, and that's a tough one to take. It's a tough one to try to make contact on, and it should have been called a ball.
No, he said.
You can't hit that ball. You can't hit it.
Now Brock Holt trying to salvage something in the inning. He is 2 for 3 today. Inside for a ball. He drove in a run with a base hit his last time up. He also singled in the 2nd inning. And he hit .312 against left-handers last year. Bases jammed. Red Sox ahead 4-2. We're in the 7th on opening day. Crack back rounder foul. So Brock will need a new stick here.
One of the rare times they've come inside today to Holt. Most of the pitches have been away from him, and he's gone to the opposite field on 2 occasions to pick up base hits. That time they came inside, and he breaks his bat.
Well, Nesson's looking for youth baseball and softball teams to be a live studio audience for Nesson Clubhouse. Visit NessonClubhouse.com and click on Studio Audience to enter your son or daughter's team. A new bat for Brock, and the left-hander deals. Followed that all the way back into the mid. 2-1.
Very shallow in left field is Marlon Bird. I mean, really, really shallow. Same thing in center field with Rajai Davis.
Brock Holt trying to deliver. And a strike. 90 miles an hour right at the knee. 2-2. The Red Sox knocked out the ace Cory Kluber after 5 1/3. Adding 2 runs in the 6th inning to retake the lead. The 2-2 pitch. Liner and caught by Uribe, and that retires the side. So the Red Sox load him up, but cannot add on anymore. We're in the middle of the 7th. 4-2 Red Sox.
Which side is our best side? This one? That one? You know what? Actually, our best side is this one. Our heart. Because only an airline with a heart would give you great deals like this. Now you can fly for as low as $69 one way. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Low fares, nothing to hide. That's transparency.
Meet the new John Deere Gator XUV 590i, a vehicle so versatile, it owns anything outdoors that ends in ing, like hauling, exploring, off-roading, and, of course, braking. 32 horsepower, a 1,200-pound payload, and over 1,000 different ways to configure yours. Go Gator. Visit your John Deere dealer to experience the new Gator XUV 590i, starting at just $9,799.
Staycation? No way. I need a real vacation. One measly week to bury my work phone in the sand while sipping some crazy concoction. Is that too much to ask?
Hey, we hear you. That's why we created AARP Travel. You'll get inspired by all of the tips and tools you need to easily plan a simple getaway or even the trip of a lifetime. So pack your bags and bury your phone.
If you don't think this is right for me when you think AARP, then you don't know ARP. Get to know us at aarp.org/possibilities.
Boston Red Sox baseball in Nesson is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. By Toyota.com, Toyota's website for deals. By Sullivan Tire and Auto Service. And by your New England Ford dealers, Ford, go further. To the bottom half of the 7th inning, and Detweiler pitching out of a jam there, leaving the bases loaded. So the Red Sox miss a chance to add on, but have a 4-2 lead, and now bring on, for the first time, a reliever today, on in relief of David Price, Junichi Tozawa, the 29-year-old from Japan. ERA took a big jump last season, Jerry, 2-7 with a 4.14.
Yeah, Red Sox shut him down early last season and try to save some innings for Tozawa going into this season. David Price, a big afternoon, the 10 strikeouts. We'll take a look at 4 of those strikeouts. He was pretty much on the corners just about all day long. Breaking ball down and in right there. A fastball to the outside corner that Napoli did not like. Another cut fastball to the outside part of the plate. And Price really doing his job, doing everything the Red Sox had hoped he would do on opening day.
Ace-like for sure. 10 punch-outs. So it's up to the bullpen to get him a victory in his Red Sox debut. Sox ahead 4-2. They've out-hit Cleveland 9-5. And Tozawa to make his first appearance of the season. He'll get Uribe, Cowgill, and Davis, the scheduled hitters. That's 8, 9, and 1. here in the last half of the 7th. Half a wave and a miss, and that'll be strike one on the swing by Uribe.
That is something Tazawa started to do last year, and throw a lot of first pitch curveballs to try to get a quick strike.
Uribe, another veteran signee. Giovanni Urshela is supposed to be their third baseman, but they're going to wait on him a little bit. And that's why they signed the 37-year-old Uribe. He's one of those guys you swear has been around since the 1960s.
I thought maybe when I was writing the lineup down yesterday it was his son.
His son is quite a little player from all accounts. He's got a 9-year-old boy who appeared in a home run hitting contest in the Dominican this past winter with David Ortiz competing against Big Papi. Got a huge ovation in the contest. He did not win. The 2-1 dips down and in for a ball.
You mentioned, Tazawa getting shut down last year. I mean, he was healthy, everything was fine, but he had thrown so many innings over the last few years. They felt the best thing for him to do would be, Red Sox were going nowhere, just not pitch and get that extended month and a half going into the off season.
The 3-1 on Uribe. Bounding ball. In comes Bogarts to snag that, and he gets it. One man out in the 7th. We want to extend a very big welcome back to our friends at Foxwoods. Let's see what events are coming up at Foxwoods Resort and Casino. April 9th, Howie Mandel and Nick Cannon. April 15th, the Doobie Brothers. April 16th, Walk Off Earth. The Doobie Brothers, that is right up my alley, Rem Dog. Right up my alley.
What was that, April 15th?
April 15th is going to be the Doobie Brothers. You want to go?
I think we're working, aren't we? Are we working that day?
Must be. Gotta be. We don't get to go anywhere. We do get to go to the ballpark every day.
Every day. What more do you want?
You get any better than that? There's Calgalia, struck out twice. Now Tyler Naquin is the batter, stepping in for Calgalia. Youngster they really like. Bringing him off the bench here today, up on the left side with the bases empty and one man out. Red Sox ahead 4-2. The Indians have made the only error today, and that one tap foul. Davis on deck. Fans, stay tuned this half inning for more stats, facts, and fantasy numbers from around Major League Baseball. This kid, 24 years old, out of Spring, Texas. Hit .348 at Akron last year, but he cuts and misses for strike 3, and he becomes the 11th strikeout victim today for Cleveland.
Yeah, very impressive. 92 on that fastball, down and away from Tazawa to pick up the strikeout. So a couple of quick outs for him in the 7th.
Davis next.
Here's the last pitch from Tazawa. It was supposed to be inside. Instead it goes down and away, but still no contact.
Davis has gone 0 for 3. Price struck him out twice. He's also lined to right. And he takes ball 1. Bases empty, 2 down. Bottom half of the 7th inning. Red Sox 4 and the Indians 2. Red Sox have talked all spring about the necessity to get off to a quick start. A little pop-up foul off first base. Hanley ranging near the stands, but has no room. Time now to check out the results of our Dunkin' Donuts poll question. We asked the question, should all cold weather city teams open the season on the road? And I think these results are predictable. You feel the same way that we do.
Yeah, after your experience the last couple of days here in Cleveland, the only answer to give to that is yes.
Actually, on the road in a dome. or in a really sunny place.
How crazy is it right now where you have Toronto playing Tampa, 2 domes, and nobody's playing in Toronto in a dome right now?
It's nuts.
It's crazy.
It's open. I don't get it. Seattle is at Texas, by the way. A swing and a miss, so no one playing there either. And down he goes. So Davis strikes out for the 3rd time. And Taz comes out throwing strikes. 4-2 Red Sox.
Refresh yourself on the outside and inside with a revitalizing iced tea from Dunkin' Donuts. Sip in freshly brewed refreshment today. America runs on Dunkin'.
Fios is not cable. We're wired differently. We are a 100% fiber optic network, and fiber optics move at the speed of light. Over the last 10 years, our cable competitors have received a few awards, but we've received a few more, including PC Magazine's #1 for internet speed 10 years running. And J.D. Power ranked us highest in customer satisfaction for the 3rd year in a row. Awards aren't everything, but when they come from your customers, they mean a lot. Only Fios has the fastest internet on the most awarded network. Right now, get super fast 100 meg internet with equal upload and download speeds, plus TV and phone for just $69.99 per month online. Cable can't offer internet speeds this fast at a price this good. Only Fios can.
What's the most awarded car company of the year? Ranking from top to bottom. Luxury cars seem like they would be top awarded.
Better be some awards behind what you're paying for, right?
The final answer?
Uh-oh.
Chevy, the most awarded car company 2 years in a row.
Wow, it's like a luxury car.
I was shocked. I mean, it's like, this is Chevy?
For a limited time, get cash back for 15% of the MSRP on most remaining 2015 Chevy vehicles while they last.
Visit your New England Chevy dealer.
Put more fun in your day with ice cream flavored coffees at Dunkin' Donuts. Go for delicious flavors like butter pecan, cookie dough, or new pistachio. Enjoy one today. America runs on Dunkin'.
This week, only T-Mobile customers can get a free season-long subscription to MLB.TV Premium. Go to T-Mobile.com/MLB to sign up right now. You can catch every moment on America's fastest-growing LTE network. Jerry Remy, Dave O'Brien alongside here in Cleveland for opening day. The Red Sox as we go to the 8th inning with a 4-2 lead, several changes. Now Davis, he has moved over to left field. Marlon Byrd has moved from left over to right field. Naquin stays in the game to play center field. And Davis is the new left fielder. And the new pitcher will be the 30-year-old Jabba Chamberlain. Since his Yankee days, he's been released by Detroit and Toronto.
And he was a late addition to this roster, too, for the Cleveland Indians this year. You see the 2015 numbers with Detroit and Kansas City, 36 games, 4.88 ERA. Opponents hitting .325 against Jabba Chamberlain.
Blake Swihart will test him first here in the 8th. Red Sox with a 2-run lead, and he'll take ball 1. On the day, Blake has struck out, walked, and hit into a fielder's choice. 274 a season ago. A lot of that is the regular #1 catcher. A strike. Chamberlain only appeared in 6 games with the World Series champions, the Kansas City Royals. He had a .794 ERA. That means he got a ring, though. Punch foul. Jackie Bradley on deck, and then Mookie Betts, who belted a 2-run homer to get the scoring going back in the 3rd inning. Mookie's also singled, and he's made a terrific catch in right field on a line drive. One-two as well outside. The 2-2. Checked his swing. He had a notion, but he stayed away from it.
Yeah, the Red Sox really missed a golden opportunity last inning. They had the bases loaded in the 7th with 1 out. Could not score a run. They could have had a game to put away in that particular inning. Koji loosening in the Red Sox bullpen.
Of course, Koji no longer the closer. That's Craig Kimbrell, but in the setup role. Blake Swihart just celebrated a birthday yesterday. He was 24 yesterday. He checked. They appealed. He did not swing. And so it is ball 4. Red Sox have been patient today. Hey, tomorrow at 5, don't miss Red Sox first pitch. Presented by Joseph Abboud. Available at Men's Warehouse. Tom Caron, Dennis Eckersley, and Steve Lyons will preview Clay Buchholz's first start of 2016. Good health for him is huge for this Red Sox team and their postseason chances.
See how the Red Sox play this now very late in the game that they had Bradley bunting. The Indians expecting you can see Uribe third base in on the grass.
He is bunting. Pulled it away. The play on the tag, and he is out at second base.
I got to believe there was a missed sign there someplace, because you would not have Blake Swihart on a straight out steal. There's no way. Possibly a hit and run that maybe Bradley missed. You're going to see Bradley square around, but I doubt very much that they would have Swihart in a straight out steal to second base. So I think there's a missed sign there.
So now the base is empty with 1 down as Swihart is caught stealing. Just chatting with Carl Willis there, Red Sox pitching coach. Jackie has singled, grounded out to second, and walked on the day. They do overshift on the right side, and he'll take one high. Jackie named after his dad, and also the great soul singer Jackie Wilson was a favorite of his mom Elfrida, former police officer. Family also great admirers of Jackie Robinson. The 3-0 in there for a strike. Red Sox in the lead 4-2 in the 8th inning, but left the bases loaded in the 7th without getting a run in. That puts more heat on the bullpen. Popped him up. Uribe alone on that left side, and will make the catch. So 2 down. It's official. The 2016 Red Sox season is underway, and be sure to download the Red Sox schedule directly into your favorite desktop, web, or mobile calendar program. Just visit NESN.com/schedule and download today. There comes Mookie Betts. Nobody aboard and 2 down. Mookie has struck out, belted a 2-run homer into the left field bleachers, singled, and he's also hit into a very rare double play. Only doubled up twice all year, fewest of the year for any major leaguer, and he'll take low ball 1. Still sitting at 34 degrees as we get set to hit 4 o'clock.
It is stabilized,
but dry. Had some snow here yesterday. We know he had snow back home, as that one is in there for a strike. I'm peeking ahead to the home opener at Fenway, though, on the 11th, and I know it's a long way out, so don't quote me on this, but what I saw yesterday and this morning was 59 and partly sunny.
We'll take that
if that holds.
Yeah, that'd be great.
1-1 into center field in the air. Aikman will size that up, and that will retire the side. Red Sox send only 3 men to hit. We go to the last half of the 8th. Red Sox 4, Indians 2.
Introducing a whole new way to win at Foxwoods. Fox Perks. Now, 1,000 times a day, one randomly chosen Foxwoods Rewards Club member wins an extra $500 to $500 cash or gift cards for meals, hotel rooms, shows, or other perks throughout the resort just for playing their favorite machine. So don't just sit there, sit here, where any minute of every day could be your minute to win. Fox Perks. It's a whole new way to win, and it's only at Foxwoods Resort Casino. The wonder of it all.
We're here to inspire confidence, the complete peace of mind you need when it comes to the reliability of your vehicle, because it's more than just a car. It's your livelihood, your independence, and the place you put your most precious cargo. We're here with certified, highly trained technicians you can trust, not only because they use the most advanced diagnostic equipment, but because they're passionate about their work and they care about getting you back on the road. Sullivan Tire and Auto Service. We're always here to get you there.
This Ultimate Chicken Club really has it all.
Totally, right?
Kind of reminds me of when I had it all. High-powered job, sports car. Had to walk away from it all.
I've known you since middle school. When did all this happen?
4th grade.
With all white meat chicken on a brioche bun, the Ultimate Chicken Club has it all. This is how you Sonic.
Taking the hassle out of yard work just got even easier. During the Echo National Sales Event, get a pro-grade Echo trimmer or handheld blower for only $149.99 each, backed by a 5-year warranty. But hurry, these deals will be gone before you know it. So take back your yard with Echo.
Farmhouse Blend Coffee. Make it any and every way you want. Just 99 cents any size. It can only happen at Cumberland Farms. Wake up with Cumberland Farms and get a large coffee and breakfast sandwich for under $4.
Our game summary is brought to you by Xfinity. Price went 6 today in his Red Sox debut. He had 10 strikeouts. Mookie Betts cranked a 2-run homer. He's 2 for 5. Brock Holt 2 for 4 with an RBI today. And the Red Sox dealt with the ace of the Indians, Cory Kluber, in just 5 1/3, getting him for 9 hits today. So he would be on the hook. The Red Sox going into the bullpen again. And here comes Koji Uehara, who just recently turned 41 years old. And with the acquisition of Craig Kimbrell, he moves into a different role this year.
Certainly does. Moves up an inning to the 8th inning. And when the Red Sox have the lead, you see the numbers for Koji last season in 43 games, 2.23 ERA. Opponents only hitting 188 off Uehara.
Robbie Ross has started loosening in the bullpen, the left-hander, in case he runs into trouble in this inning. Might be a day we see both Price and Craig Kimbrell. Here's Kipnis first. It's a high fly foul out of play. Koji last year with a 2.23 ERA did have 25 saves. And he had that wrist injured, actually broken, on that line drive by Ian Kinsler in August in Detroit. That was it for him. He fires high for a ball.
And the reason we're still so close, and it's a little bit concerning, the fact the Red Sox offense the last 2 innings have made some mistakes. I mean, bases loaded with 1 out. Could not get runs in that situation. And
a little pop to center field. Plenty of time for Jackie Bradley to put that away. 1 out the bottom of the 8th inning here for Cleveland. Ace Ticket, Boston's trusted source for Red Sox tickets, has the best seats at the lowest prices to all the games at Fenway, all with a 200% guarantee. Treat yourself or someone special by visiting aceticket.com or by calling 1-800-MY-SEATS.
And the other concerning thing, Dave, was last inning the Red Sox apparently missing a sign, which cost them an out at second base.
Lindor with a wave and a miss. He's had a good day, 2 for 3 with a couple of singles. So we'll see if those missed opportunities haunt the Red Sox in this season opener. Koji working quickly. And another one that disappeared.
Yeah, 2 very good split-fingered fastballs by Uehara.
Right-hander Bauer, who's been moved into their bullpen from the rotation, now loosening up. Nobody aboard, 1 out. Floated toward left. Here's Brock Holt. 2 up and 2 down. Koji did not have a great spring.
We didn't see him very much in the spring. They were taking it real slow with Koji.
And you know, when he did pitch, he got hit pretty hard a couple of times.
Yeah.
Right now he looks like the same old Koji. Major League Baseball went back to 1900 in the category of walks and hits to innings pitched. Great indicator of a pitcher's effectiveness. WHIP. He ranks #1 in his career. Craig Kimbrell, the new closer, ranks 2nd. That's since 1900. Off the edge here on Mike Napoli, who has walked. He's also struck out twice. The shadows are creeping in. Towering in, actually. In for a strike.
I don't think to a point yet where they affect the batter at home plate. There are some shadows between the pitcher and hitter, but I don't think enough to disrupt anything.
Koji trying to make it a 1-2-3 eighth inning. He's got a 3-1 on his old friend. Napoli with the 2 strikeouts in the 4th and again in the 5th inning, and both times he was upset about it with John Hirschbeck, the home plate umpire. He thought they missed. 3-1. That drifted in for a strike.
No fastball there on the 3-1 count. Goes back to the split fingered fastball. A run at 3-2 against Napoli.
Red Sox ahead 4-2 in the 8th here on opening day. And that's in there. He got him with the heater at 85. And once again, Napoli not too thrilled. He strikes out for the 3rd time. We go to the 9th. Red Sox up by 2.
Which side is our best side? This one? That one? You know what? Actually, our best side is this one. Our heart. Because only an airline with a heart would give you great deals like this. Now you can fly for as low as $69 one way. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Low fares, nothing to hide. That's transparency.
That HP Color LaserJet printer has saved us a bundle.
It's just so tiny, and it looks so cute on my desk.
When I told my boss that it's 40% faster than our old printer, its Jet Intelligence toner cartridges print 1/3 more pages, and WB Mason would deliver next day for free, he promoted me.
Must be some printer. Third party this week. Who but WB Mason, an HP preferred partner.
For the last 5 days, 17 hours, and 23 minutes, you've been a passenger.
I'm back in baby's arms. How I miss those.
Mazda's Skyactiv technology makes it good to be a driver.
Back in baby's arms.
The last 3 games of the regular season could make or break Bruins' playoff destiny.
The Bruins just need to take care of business. It comes down to the will to win.
In front of their hometown crowd, the Bees' biggest challenge lies in front of them.
That's the beauty of live sports, and you find out about a lot of people in these situations.
Coverage of Hurricanes Bruins begins tonight at 6:30 on NESN. Then Red Wings Bruins Thursday at 6:30, and Senators Bruins Saturday at 11:30 on NESN Plus.
The 2016 CVS Health Charity Classic features more than the nation's top golfers. Don't miss the Charity Classic benefit concert featuring Grammy award-winning Lady Antebellum at the Dunkin' Donuts Center in Providence on June 28th. Get your tickets at Ticketmaster.com/CharityClassicFenway. Well, the Red Sox closing in on an opening day win. And this is shades of 2013 right here, where Koji gets a big poppy hug after his effort. That'll send on Trevor Bauer now for the Indians. Red Sox on top 4-2 as we go to the 9th inning. He has moved from the rotation to the bullpen, at least to the start of the season. And he'll square off against Dustin Pedroia to begin the 9th. Pedroia, who typically has terrific season openers, a .421 lifetime average on opening day. He's 0 for 4 today. That's in for a called strike.
Yeah, 2 pretty good fastballs, one inside, one outside to Pedroia.
Hey, on the topic of pretty good fastballs, guess who's loosening up in the Red Sox bullpen?
Kimbrell.
about 97, 98. And pretty steady at 97, 98. So Koji did his job, a 1-2-3 inning with a strikeout of Mike Napoli, who I think is still muttering about that last pitch. 2-2 the count.
Well, you look at Napoli's at bats today, and I got to tell you, that outside part of the plate has just been his nemesis today. John Hirschbeck ringing him up on pitches that have been borderline calls, to say the best.
2-2. A little high. Pedroia, one of 8 major leaguers all time to be named MVP, Rookie of the Year, win a Gold Glove and a World Series. He's the only one to do it in his first 2 full major league seasons. And the other guys are people like Johnny Bench and Willie Mays, Cal Ripken Jr. That is high for ball 4. Thurman Munson, Frank Robinson. Pretty good company. Well, tomorrow at 5:30, don't miss Red Sox Game Day Live, presented by DCU. TC and Dennis Eckersley, Steve Lyons break down the new rules in Major League Baseball. There are several. DCU, Digital Federal Credit Union. What can DCU save you? Xander Bogaerts now. He's gone 0 for 4 today, reaching on an error in the 7th inning by Uribe. Nobody out in the 9th. Red Sox with a 2-run lead. And that's ball 1. Red Sox have accepted 6 walks today. None of them have scored yet. But Pedroia is the leadoff man. He's aboard here in the 9th. 1-1 on Xander. One of those free passes to David Ortiz, an intentional walk in the 7th inning, and he's on deck. The 1-1 to the Silver Slugger Award winner. And now Xander not too happy. He thought that missed.
Yeah, I'll say one thing. Hirschbeck has been very, very consistent out there today. That strike zone has been expanded. It's something as a hitter you have to get used to, because you know that a pitch like that is going to be called a strike. It's been that way all afternoon.
1-2 in there for strike 3, and that one missed too.
Yeah, that one was ridiculous.
Wow.
I mean, that's crazy. You can't hit that pitch. You can't hit it.
All you can do is walk away and smile, I guess.
I mean, this is not even borderline. This is way outside. Pitcher's got to love this. I mean, even Napoli's, I don't think, was that far outside.
No, I agree. None of the 3. He was beside himself there. Here's Big Papi now. David doubled back in the 3rd inning. He's got 1 for 3, intentionally walked in the 7th. Terry Francona did not mess with him. He knows too well. Red Sox leading here 4-2. We are in the 9th. Kimbrel is warming up. Across the outside edge, I guess, for strike.
A little different defense here against Ortiz, especially in a double play situation. They have their 3rd baseman and their shortstop trying to turn over the double play. A lot of times you'll see, most of the time you'll see the 2nd baseman stay in that position.
Just a little bit low. Good take by David Ortiz. 2 balls, 1 strike. Sox have 9 hits today. Cleveland's been held to 5, so Boston pitching has been excellent. Not many bumps in the road on the mound today. Pedroia leading. Big hack by David. 2-2. He went for the downs on that one. Hanley Ramirez on deck. Ortiz with 37 home runs last season. 2-2. Golfed and a right, well hit, back it goes. Carrying. Gone! David Ortiz on opening day. Again. And And the Red Sox expand the lead to 6-2. That's the 5th time on opening day that David Ortiz has touched them all.
Well, you know, we were talking earlier in the ball game when he went to the opposite field, and his head discipline, I mentioned at that time, was very good. Well, watch it here on a ball that he pulls. That head right on the baseball and just takes it out of the ballpark. And that expands things for the Red Sox as we go here in the 9th inning. And there's that little collapse by Ortiz, the big follow through with the one hand. And that certainly opens things up for the Red Sox.
Number 504 for Big Papi. So he does it again on opening day. As mentioned, Carl Yastrzemski with the franchise record for opening day home runs with 6. But he has tied Dewey Evans with 5. There's a shot by Ramirez. That's well hit. Bird back, turning around. It's high off the wall. Hanley will be held to a base hit. And that one almost got out of here. His second hit today.
Boy, that's like what you like to see from Hanley, too. Going the other way. You know, you mentioned it a lot, OB, during spring training. The fact when he led the league in hitting in the National League, he would use the opposite field. And he's made an effort to do that more and more. That inside-out swing with power. Now, Hanley really should have had a double on this. He thought it was going to be a home run. He didn't start to run till late. And then by the time he got to first base, it was too late.
Yep. It should have been 2. On with a single. He's 2 for 4 today. And Mickey Callaway out to the mound. Again, there's a 30-second clock on visits like this year. That's brand new in 2016. Red Sox on top 6-2. In the 9th inning. And some serious wiggle room now here on opening day. Take 2. Here comes Travis Shaw, who has a couple of hits today. A single in the 2nd inning, another base hit in the 6th inning. He's 2 for 4. Back home here in Ohio. And he'll take a fastball for a strike.
Well, Bauer's got a good fastball, 95.
Travis, who impressed in 65 games last year, belting 13 home runs and won the third base job. He knocks that one foul. Took that away from Pablo Sandoval. As mentioned, the Panda did a lot to take it away from himself. Well, Pablo, to his credit, has said all the right things about what Travis has done, admitting it's the right move to make. That was a pitch that bounced in front of the plate, and he swung and missed for strike 3. So that's out number 2 here in the 9th.
Kind of a strange day for Shaw. 2 hits and 3 strikeouts in the ball game today. Curveball that time that bounced in front of home plate, and Shaw could not hold up on the swing.
So now Noe Ramirez has joined the closer Kimbrel. So how do you work this?
Well, you know, I would go with Kimbrel unless the Red Sox can tack on some more runs. It's a 4-run ball game. Why fool around? Bring him in. He's loose. He's warm.
Fouled away by Brock Holt, even though it would not be a save situation.
Even though it would not be a save situation. You got opening day. You've got Price, who pitched very well. Red Sox putting some runs on the board. It's 4 runs at this point. I think if it goes more than that, then you go to Noe Ramirez. If not, I think you stay with Kimbrel.
Both warming up. Brock today is 2 for 4 with an RBI single. He has a couple of singles. Red Sox have 11 hits, including home runs by David Ortiz and Mookie Betts. Now up by 4. Hanley on at first base. They're calling today a sellout. 34,493 at Progressive Field.
Well, it was yesterday.
And today dry and sunny. Certainly no warmer, but dry and sunny. A little high for a ball. So the count goes to 3-1 on Brock. Blake Swihart would be next. 2 down in the 9th inning and 2 more runs in for the Red Sox. and hammered into left. On the move is Davis. He'll make the catch. Boy, that was a tough play. But he hauls it in. David Ortiz touches them all. Will we see Kimbrel? The Red Sox lead 6-2.
The intelligent all-new Audi A4 is here. Experience the all-new Audi A4 at your local dealer.
There's no deal like a Bob's Discount Furniture package deal. My Miranda sofa and love seat is a terrific buy. Both pieces only $7.99.
Cocktail and 2 end tables, outstanding at only $1.99.
Pair of lamps, only $80.
Add them all up, it's a great value at only $10.78.
Buy them all together and get all 7 pieces at my package deal price of only $9.99.
Mr. Competitor can't even come close.
That's what I call an untouchable value. Only at my Bob's Discount Furniture.
Building our dream house on a hill wasn't the best decision we ever made, but I did get one thing right.
Discover the hill climbing power of the Toro all-wheel drive mower. Toro, count on it.
Double up on great brands at Bass Pro Shops, like select Under Armour shirts and shorts starting at under $25. Save 20% on a Bass Pro aluminum fish fryer, and save $40 on Merrill men's trail wick hikers.
Find fantasy shows.
When it comes to the things you love, you want more. Love romance? Get lost in every embrace. Into sports? Follow every pitch, every play, and every win. Change the way you experience TV with X1 from Xfinity.
Heading for the bottom of the 9th inning. Red Sox ahead 6-2. Bob's Discount Furniture is going to bat for the Jimmy Fund again this year. Bob will donate $1,000 to the Jimmy Fund for every game saved this season. Everybody saves at Bob's, the only choice for untouchable furniture value, available in store or at mybobs.com. And it is indeed the closer, Craig Kimbrel.
And there you see the numbers for Kimbrel. 4-2 record. 39 saves in 43 opportunities. Opponents hitting 185 on the season against Kimbrel.
Santana will bat lefty and take ball 1 low. And many will tell you, Jerry, that when Dave Dombrowski traded for this guy in November, the Red Sox got baseball's best closer.
Yeah.
For the last 5 years, he has been 224 saves, #1 in the majors. And he can flat bring it.
Yeah, everything hard fastball, hard breaking ball from Kimbrel.
ERAs that would make Pedro Martinez proud back to 2011. 2.10, 1.01, 1.21, 1.61. Off the charts. Last year, 39 saves. Fly it into left center field, and Brock Holt will be there, creeping in. 1 man out here in the bottom of the 9th inning for the Indians. So this is setting up potentially as a near perfect day for the Red Sox. David Price in his Red Sox debut with 10 strikeouts. David Ortiz in the last year of his legendary career with a home run, a 2-run shot on opening day. And now Kimbrel with a chance to put this one into the win column. Red Sox ahead 6-2. And John Farrell not smiling yet, as Yan Gomes will take a strike.
Is that 95-mile-an-hour fastball right on the outside corner for a quick strike.
Gomes is 1 for 3 with a single, and he looks at a strike. A let-up pitch at 86.
Yeah, that's that hard breaking ball that he throws at 86 miles an hour. Not exactly where he wanted it, but he did pick up the inside corner and got a strike.
Kimbrel's career ERA is 1.63. That's how good he's been for a long time. And again, a 4-run lead, not a save situation, but John Farrell on opening day, this club needing desperately to get off to a good start. He will not mess with anybody else in the bullpen. Good work done by Tazawa and by Koji. Now Kimbrel looking to follow. He pins that one along the outside in 97 to sit down Gomes, and there are 2 down.
You're sitting there watching the game all day long from the bullpen, and you see pitches being called on the outside part of the plate. Strikes. Go there. And that's exactly where Kimbrel goes. Pulled in a little bit by Swihart, but the strike called by Hirschbeck.
One more to get, and the Red Sox pitching staff will set down the last 13 Indians to bat in this game. That batter is Marlon Byrd, who's gone 0 for 2 with a sacrifice. Red Sox 6 and the Indians 2 here on opening day 2016. And it's had a little bit of everything from a Red Sox perspective. In for a called strike. Boy, he's right on the black edge of that plate at 95 to 97. Bases empty and 2 down in the bottom of the 9th. And the breaking ball didn't snap, almost got him on the elbow.
That's the pitch usually on days like this when it's very cold, to get a real good grip on and get it to break. See Kimbrel rubbing up the baseball after this last pitch. It just did nothing.
Well, this was the winning formula the Red Sox were dreaming about when they got Price and Kimbrel. Now trying to make it real in the season opener. Dave Dombrowski signing the #1 free agent on the market and then trading for Craig Kimbrel, the top closer, certainly in his estimation, and brought him here to Boston. The 3-1. And that'll be outside ball 4 off the mitten of Swihart. So the Indians are not done yet. Marlon Byrd on with a walk with 2 down. They'll send up Juan Uribe, who's gone 1 for 3 today with a single. Red Sox struck first today with 2 runs in the 3rd inning on the home run by Mookie Betts. Added another 2-run homer by David Ortiz, of course, in the 9th inning. Got 2 more in the 6th inning as well today. They have out-hit the Indians 11-5. Uribe 1 for 3. Nothing in 1 to count.
That swing was a little bit tardy by Uribe.
Kimbrel, as nasty as he is pitching from a box of shade on the mound anyway. And then through the sun. Off the outside, 1 ball, 1 strike.
And you think about the difference, you know, you got Uehara in the 8th inning throwing about 88, 87 miles an hour with that split-fingered fastball. Then you get to Kimbrel at 95, 96, 97.
Here's the 1-1. Fouled back. So that sets it up to end the day on a strikeout, which would be a terrific way to finish it. David Price had 10 of them in 6 innings today. 1 more to get. 2 down in the bottom of the 9th. Red Sox leading 6-2. Kimbrel thinking K. Fouled away again by the pesky Uribe.
And just staying with #1, the fastball that time.
They'll rub up a new baseball here in the chill in Cleveland. David Ortiz with that incredible flair for drama on opening day, his last season opener, and he belts a 2-run homer. The 1-2. He jerked that one a bit. 2-2 to count. It's not a save situation, but you know the adrenaline is coursing through for Kimbrel in his Red Sox debut.
Absolutely. I mean, it's his first appearance of the year, first appearance in a new uniform. He has the lead. Does not want to give up anything.
Trying to put away Juan Uribe here with 2 down. Here it comes. Check swing. Did he offer? No, he didn't. Bill Welke says no swing.
I don't know how Uribe held up off that. You know, you're looking fastball. You get that breaking ball. He starts to go, but he's able to control the barrel of the bat.
3 balls, 2 strikes. A man at first, 2 down. Red Sox lead 6-2 in the last of the 9th. 1 strike away from a win. In there for strike 3, and the Red Sox win it. They win on opening day 6-2 here in Cleveland. Fittingly on a strikeout by Kimbrel.
And again, that's part of the plate. That fastball away. Hirschbeck calling the strike, and the Red Sox have nearly a perfect afternoon today.
Well, they sure did. In the sunshine here in Cleveland, they win it 6-2. Price wins in his Red Sox debut. David Ortiz homers in his final season opener. And Kimbrel pins it down with a K to put away the Cleveland Indians. The Red Sox now 1-0 as they beat the Indians 6-2 in the 2016 opener. Time of game 3 hours and 13 minutes. And the Red Sox with the handshakes on a great afternoon. For my partner, Jerry Remy, and for Garen Austin, I'm Dave O'Brien. Thanks so much for joining us. Lots more still to come on the post-game wrap-up right now. Let's toss it back to TC.
Obi, thanks very much. What a way to begin the 2016 season. The Red Sox wrapping up the win. 6-2 is the final 11 hits. Ortiz delivers. Price delivers. Kimbrel ends it. What more do you want? 1 game into the season. Steve Lyons, Dennis Eckersley ready to roll here. And don't forget tonight, following Bruins coverage on NESN Sports Today, highlights as the Bruins welcome the Hurricanes to the Garden and fight for their playoff lives. That and more, as well as the latest from Cleveland on NESN Sports Today. It's brought to you by People's United Bank. See what know-how can do. Box with WB Mason here on WB Mason Red Sox Extra Innings Live. How about out of the yard for David Ortiz? His 5th opening day home run in his final opening day ever. A little 9th inning insurance, number 504 and counting. Big Papi getting into the swing of things here late in the game, and you got to love what the Red Sox offense did against Cory Kluber. I know that home run wasn't against Cory Kluber, but they get the win against one of the best in the game. But how about this guy trying to show he's the best in the game right now? Did this for Toronto last year, did it today for the Red Sox. A 10 strikeout debut for the new ace.
You didn't see that 95 miles an hour, but you saw balls inside corner, outside corner, bunch of punch-outs, 10 punch-outs. He walked off 5 out of 6 innings with a punch-out off the field, did his job. Went 6 innings. They gave him 4 runs to work with. That's not vintage, but I'll tell you what, 10 punch-outs says a lot.
Yeah, he could have got a lot deeper into this ballgame if he didn't have sort of 2 innings where he threw 56 pitches. In the 2nd and 4th inning, kind of blew up there a little bit on him, but still settled down, turned the page. A really good example of an ace who had a couple rough innings and still turned the page and was able to get it done. That's a great showing for some of the other guys on that staff.
Welcome into our NESN Television Center first post-game show of the season. Tom Karen, Steve Lyons, Hall of Famer Dennis Eckersley with you for WB Mason Red Sox Extra Innings Live. The Red Sox beginning their 116th American League season in style as they had to wait an extra day, and it was worth the wait. Mookie Betts getting it done for the Red Sox. He showed you last year he's got power. He's got the quick hands. Don't try to bust him inside because he will make you pay. And Mookie Betts made Corey Kluber pay until they added on the late insurance. This is the most important swing of the day.
Fastball away, trying to get away. Creeps back on the inside half of the plate. You see Mookie, that's what he did all last year. Hit 18 bombs. He's got 1 already this year.
I love that swing right there, and then later in the game he gets a base hit going the other way after spitting on a couple nasty down and away breaking balls. That shows me a ton of maturity for a young kid.
And not just getting it done with the bat. Obviously, this guy can get it done with the glove. By the way, he's first Red Sox player under the age of 24 with multiple opening day home runs. But how about that catch? And Rajai Davis would have been off and running. A triple, if not an inside the park home run.
I'll tell you right there, gets a jump on this ball. He had no time to make a decision. Couple steps back, leaps, makes a great catch. This is a guy that came from second base. Let's don't forget. Went to center field last year, now right field, and he's been making it home already.
You know, wait until he develops instincts as an outfielder. He's only been out there for about a year. He has played a tremendous outfield based on his athletic ability only. When he develops instincts and great jumps off the ball when it's coming right off the bat, he's going to be an amazing outfielder.
He's only hitting about 450 on opening day with a couple of home runs. He hits, he fields, he bowls 300 every now and again, and he speaks with Garen Austin.
Mookie, you have consecutive home runs in opening days. A little like extra excitement for you to start the season?
Yeah, I mean, you know, we've only had 2 opening days, so we can't get too ahead of ourselves. But yeah, there's always excitement on opening day. You know, we want to start off with a W, and we did that today.
Impressive start for David Price. 10 strikeouts in 6 innings. What has he brought to the team on and off the field?
I mean, you know, he's a great teammate in the clubhouse. You know, gives everybody positive vibes in there, and you know, he's cheering for everybody in the dugout even while he's pitching. And you know, you're gonna get that out of him every time he steps on the mound.
You guys had to wait an extra day, but how nice is it to start the season off with a win like this?
You know, it's always great to start off with a win, and you know, hopefully use that day for a little extra rest for tomorrow.
All right, thanks again.
Thank you.
All right, Mookie Betts talking to Garen Austin. This guy has done it all. What a leadoff hitter for the Red Sox. Joining us now from Cleveland as we bring Jerry Remy into the conversation. And Jerry, nothing Mookie Betts does surprises us anymore.
No, it's been terrific, you know, and today was obviously a great game for him. But, you know, as we mentioned during the ball game, I've never seen anybody so quick inside with anything that's thrown in there, whether it be a fastball or breaking ball. He'll just clean it out and has the ability to drive it out of the ballpark. The defensive play was a great play. And he actually, to me, jumped and looked like he was on his way down when he made the catch. An absolutely athletic play. I mean, he can do it all. He does everything. And, you know, we saw him in center field last year. He moves to right field. He just looks so comfortable doing it. He gets such a great jump on the baseball, and you know, just a terrific performance today. The thing that impressed me too is he pulls a home run. Then later on in the game, which he's going to have to do a lot this year, he goes to the opposite field to get a base hit because I think he's going to see a lot of pitches away this season. But a great start for Mookie Betts.
Jerry, what about David Price? You saw the 10 punch-outs. It didn't look like he had his good fastball, but the ball he thrown, balls inside, balls outside. And how about Hirschbeck and that strike zone behind the plate?
You'd have loved it, Eck. You'd have loved that strike zone today. I mean, if you were anywhere within 6 inches of that outside corner, it was a strike. And, you know, you have to, as a hitter, you've got to know that. You've got to know that Hirschbeck's going to be a pitcher's umpire. Always has been, but today it was, like, kind of ridiculous, you know, at some stages. But, you know, you go up there and you got to expect to be able to swing at pitches away. But as far as David Price goes, the thing that impressed me today, he had that one inning where I think he threw over 33 pitches somewhere in that area. But that's what an ace does. He's able to bounce back for that inning. You know, most guys, once they have a 30-pitch inning, they're done. They're wiped out. They can't regroup after that. He regrouped very nicely, ended up with 10 strikeouts. I thought it was, you know, not his best outing that we're going to see all season long, but a very competitive one by him.
Jerry, 29 opening days for you, so you've been watching David Ortiz do what he does for all those seasons, and once again, his 5th time on opening day, he goes deep, and he doesn't look like he's lost a step at all.
No, you know, and he did not have a good spring. You know, he had some terrible at-bats down in spring training where he was pulling the ball and looked like he was trying to hit a home run on every single swing, and I think what got him going today, I may be wrong, but I think I'm right, was the ball that he hit to the opposite field, because I think that got his head in the proper position to, you know, keep it in there, keep his shoulder in there, and then once he did, he was able to control that head, control the shoulder, and be able to pull the ball and grab the home run. You know, all in all, a very nice day for a lot of different people on the Red Sox today.
Well, this is what it was worth waiting for, right, Jerry? A little extra time didn't kill anybody. You might have gotten bored in Cleveland, but that's all right.
That's okay. Hey, a win's a win, you know, and let's hope we get the next 2 in.
Yeah, exactly. The weather doesn't get a whole lot better. Neither does Jerry Remy. Remdog, thanks.
Thank you.
Jerry Remy joining us from Cleveland, and he will join us tomorrow. 5 o'clock now. Don't forget, 5 o'clock. Get out of work early.
Oh, yeah.
You guys get to work early. 6 o'clock, first pitch, as they play a little earlier this week. And as Jerry just said, we'll see what the weather holds for the rest of the way. Red Sox Game Day Live presented by DCU, Digital Federal Credit Union. What can DCU save you? It's all part of our pregame coverage before Clay Buchholz makes his first start of the season. John Farrell began his major league career in Cleveland and got a nice ovation as part of the opening day ceremonies today. We'll look back on those ceremonies in just a little bit. And we'll have Major League Baseball highlights. The Yankees and Astros had to wait an extra day as well, and it was cold in New York. But would the bats for the aging Yankees stay cold? Find out as we continue.
You can't go wrong when you buy right at WB Mason.
Is here. Enjoy the great outdoors in a Subaru featuring symmetrical all-wheel drive. You'll love the view in a brand new Subaru Forester, well equipped for only $22,395. Get a great deal and go love spring.
That HP Color LaserJet printer has saved us a bundle.
It's just so tiny, and it looks so cute on my desk.
When I told my boss that it's 40% faster than our old printer, its Jet Intelligence toner cartridges print a third more pages, and WB Mason would deliver next day for free, he promoted me.
Must be some printer. Third party this week. Who but WB Mason, an HP preferred partner.
I love these old-fashioned sodas.
And you know they hand make them right here at Sonic?
Yeah, you know, it's a shame more things aren't handmade these days.
Oh, it's all going to be machines at some point.
You think we're going to get replaced by machines?
Someday, but they're like, oh, these folks seem nice. I got this.
Target acquired.
Oh,
what did you say?
I don't know. I thought I said what he said, but I guess the nuances.
Introducing handcrafted sweet cream sodas, part of Sonic's new soda pop shop. And don't forget to try our new Ultimate Chicken Club. This is how you Sonic.
Find fantasy shows.
When it comes to the things you love, you want more. Love romance? Get lost in every embrace. Into sports? Follow every pitch, every play, and every win. Change the way you experience TV with X1 from Xfinity.
Today is a special day for the manager of the Red Sox, a man that we call one of our own. He was the second-round pick by the Indians in 1984. He pitched 5 years for the Indians and was a member of the Indians front office as director of player development. Last August, John was diagnosed with cancer. His journey back to the dugout has been a tough one, but as always, John has won. It is our pleasure to be the ones to officially welcome you back to the game of baseball. Ladies and gentlemen, the manager of the Boston Red Sox, John Farrell.
Well, nice moment before the game as the Cleveland Indians tip their proverbial cap to John Farrell, who again started there, was in the front office there before coming to the Red Sox, pitching coach, and then returning from Toronto as the manager. We talked about the importance to get off to a good start for the Red Sox. One game doesn't make a season. They won opening day last year, as I recall, and were 6-3 after 9 games last year. But you can only win one at a time, and they won today. Was that urgency apparent in the 9th inning? Is that why you bring Kimbrel in, even though it's no longer a safe competition or a situation, or is it because he's hot in the bullpen?
Yeah, I tell you what, first of all, he hadn't pitched in a couple of days. He's got to get in there. You can't think about, well, he can't use him 3 days in a row if I use him today. I mean, you got to get in the game. I would have wanted the ball at that point. You know, you get hot, you get in. That's how I look at it. Is it urgency? I don't think so. But they do want to win every game you can win.
Yeah, and if every day goes like today, this is going to be an easy, fun job, right? You and I won't get fired. Not a chance. Not a chance.
We're betting everything on that. It's a long season.
I don't know, man.
Hanley Ramirez.
If it goes like today, no problems.
Hanley likes April. That's one thing we've learned, right? In a Boston uniform, last year, 10 home runs, Eck dropping a triple crown on him.
Right.
This year, how about the defense?
What a great play.
How about the defense from Hanley Ramirez?
That was a great play. He fielded and stepped on the bag.
Everything you want out of a first baseman right there in that play. Look at this.
See, what a play. Great play.
Tells the pitcher to get out of the way.
I got it.
I'm telling you, the only thing that you're going to have to watch for with Hanley Ramirez at first base right now is whether or not he stays engaged. He's going to have to keep his head in the game over there at first base, and he has to make his infielders better.
And Jerry said it's Hanley being Hanley. We used to use that with another Ramirez who came through town. When Hanley's feeling good, these are the kind of things he does. Now, a good throw probably gets him, but why not test the outfielder on opening day?
Well, because he's, this is Hanley, and he made it. You're saying, okay, but if this throw is in the vicinity, he's out because that ball was scorched by Shaw. One hop to Cowgill. He doesn't make a good throw. Meanwhile, first and third, nobody out. So it seems like a great running play. He does not run like he used to. This is a very aggressive play. Once again, good throw. He's out. But because he's safe, I like it.
Come on. This is Hanley doing his homework. He knows it's cold out there. He knows Cowgill doesn't throw the ball well.
Okay,
he's being aggressive on the bases. Make him throw you out. I love it.
You know what they were saying in the stands?
As long as you're safe.
As long as you're safe.
As long as you're safe.
Saying we need more Cowgill.
Yes, that's right.
More Cowgill. Anyway, Hanley Ramirez ultimately scores on a little bloop hit that wouldn't have driven in the run, but it did because he was at third base. So it worked out well for Hanley Ramirez and the Red Sox today. Tune in tomorrow at 6. Actually, 5 o'clock. Got to tell our script writers here. And it's an earlier start, 5 o'clock. Red Sox first pitch, presented by Men's Warehouse, proudly making us the best dressed team in baseball and available with Joseph Abboud suits. Red Sox first pitch coming your way at 5 tomorrow on NESN. David Price getting it done. We'll take a closer look at how he got it done. The price was right today in Cleveland.
Providing local service really has its perks.
Hey, Jen, it's Matt. How can I find out when our Shazam K-Cup pods will get here? I kind of need them now.
Let me call your driver and find out where he is.
You can call our driver. Thank you.
Local service, personalized. Who but WB Mason?
The Bud Light Party believes in change. That's why Bud Light has a new look, and we want to share it with everyone. From our national parks to our furthest shores, jackpot, to your living room. Look under your seats. Still the same refreshing Bud Light with a new look.
A hotly contested election, the direction of our country at stake. Senator Kelly Ayotte believes in being thoughtful and protecting the Constitution, especially when it comes to the Supreme Court. A Supreme Court justice serves for a lifetime. President Obama wants to rush through another liberal nominee. Kelly Ayotte disagrees. She believes the people of New Hampshire should have a voice in this nomination. Stand with Senator Ayotte.
Bob's Discount Furniture is going to bat for the Jimmy Fund again this year. And Craig Kimbrell getting it done in the 9th inning for the Red Sox. Not a save situation, but like you said, if you're hot, you're in. That's how you take care of it. This guy has the most saves in Major League Baseball over the last 5 years by like 60 saves. It's not even close.
No, it's not. But, once again, he goes out there, he gets a first out of fly ball. He had some control problems, but that outside corner ended up being nicely done. He gets his 2 punch-outs, right?
Oh,
Steve, he gets 2 punch-outs just to stay in shape every time he goes out there.
Every time. And you know what? Hey, the way that outside fastball, anything on the outside corner was being called a strike, you're crazy not to throw it anywhere else. A very liberal strike zone on the outer half of the plate. But I was really surprised at how many breaking balls I saw out of Kimbrell. I think that really forced his pitch count up.
If he maintains the 18 strikeout per 9 innings, he'll do well this season. That's my guess. Bob's Discount Furniture is going to bat for the Jimmy Fund again this year. Bob will donate $1,000 to the Jimmy Fund for every game saved this season. Everybody saves at Bob's, the only choice for untouchable furniture value. In-store or at mybobs.com. No Carson Smith. No problem for the Red Sox today. Tazawa, who they can ease back a little bit on, came in, and Koji, who they said would be the 8th inning guy, even with Smith here, comes in to take care of it in the 8th.
Yeah, Koji looked pretty good. Came out, curveball first pitch, velocity about 92, 93. For me, that's the guy. You know, that's the guy early on. Maybe Matt Barnes will kick in too, but you couldn't ask for a better game. Talk about a perfect game. 7th, 8th, and 9th. You lose your 3, relievers. Koji being a guy that's setting up this year, out of the norm for him out of the last couple of years. But, once again, the fastballs that aren't all that velocity-wise, all that hot, but his split finger was okay, and he punched out the guy. Once again, Napoli punched out 3 times, that being the 3rd on the outside corner.
You said it the other day, and I agree. Koji scares the heck out of me when he comes in. He's 41 years old now. You never think he throws balls right down the middle. He has great deception somehow. He doesn't have the velocity. But until he doesn't get guys out, I got to say he's my guy in the 8th inning. I'm going to run him out there. He's been doing this for 3 or 4 years now in a Red Sox uniform. It's like he keeps getting guys out. You have to keep letting him try to do it. Carson Smith, where the loss of him shows up is when you go to Toronto with all those big power righties, and when you go to Baltimore with all the big power righties. That's the guy who you need to be able to get guys out. You don't have him right now. And that's going to hurt a little bit.
You'll need Tazawa now to step up and be the guy he was a couple of years ago.
But you talk about Koji and that fastball that you throw down the middle.